Do not get fat. If you are like on the border of like almost fat and like kind of mid-size and you really enjoy eating food, this is going to be your personal wake-up call. Do not let yourself get fat. Weight loss, putting on the weight is so fun. It's so easy. Food tastes amazing. Losing the weight takes what feels like forever, and just like 24/7 365 discipline, like you're constantly thinking about the food you can't eat and the food you can eat and what is in the food and how much protein's in the food and how the food will make you feel and all of that. So don't lose weight or don't gain weight. Don't get fat. If you are a medium size, get normal. Get into the small range. If you're large, baby, you already know the pain I'm speaking of. You already know the pain I'm speaking of. Don't get fat. This is a PSA to everybody. Okay, thank you.
Listen, don't get fat. Okay, move your body every single day. Don't get fat, because nobody talks about how fucking hard it is to get back outside and get to walking the way I was walking 3.5 miles every single day. Literally, never out of breath, nothing. Climbing up the steepest hill, one of the steepest hills in Costa Rica that everyone warned you about. And now I was out of breath trying to walk 2 blocks. Okay. And my family, of course, is so encouraging because they know once I get focused, I can do anything. And my sister's like, well, you drop your weight fast. So, just basically focus on yourself. And it's like, that is true. I do lose weight fast, especially if I'm working out every day. And if I do 2 days, okay. So like, it's like, I know what I'm capable of. But then I walk up the steps and my knees start hurting. Why would you ever let yourself get this big? Absolutely not. Get your big fat ass up and get outside and walk. Get to a Pilates class, get to a yoga class, get to weight training, okay? Get your big ass up. Or else you're going to be big as hell like me right now. Sad that I can't fit in my 14. I'm normally just a size 10, maybe 12. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not even telling y'all my weight because it's so fucking ridiculous. But my ideal weight where I look my best is around 190. So I'm never going to be like a super, super thin girl. That's just not me. But 190 is thin for me. 180, maybe. Like when I was on the keto diet, I was like 180. That was a real good slim. But for real, get your big ass up and get outside.
My biggest regret about getting fat is how much loose skin and stretch marks I have now. And that's me being completely vulnerable with you and honest with you. Woman to woman, do not get fat. Because in the depths of me getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more obese, I always knew, because I've had a passion for fitness for the last 10 years, I always thought to myself, I know how to lose this weight. I'm just going to get as big as I possibly want and can, because I know exactly how to lose it. And in a moment when you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more obese, you completely forget that your skin is stretching, your body is changing, you're making room in your home, which is your body, for excess weight, which expands and contracts your skin. And that will leave you with loose skin and stretch marks. If you don't have that, you're really lucky. I did have that genetically. A lot of women in my family do have that. And I took my youth for granted because I went into my late 20s, and that is when I gained a substantial amount of weight. So I gained 44 pounds in 2023, and I looked completely different. Like, I just looked inflamed. And the issue when you get that big is you always think, oh, it's fine, I'll just lose it one day. It's fine, I'll just lose it one day. And I did lose it. But now I have the stretch marks and the loose skin to show for it. And you might think to yourself, oh, it's fine, Annie, you do a great job of loving yourself as you are. Yes, I do. And I'm probably never going to get surgery to get rid of the loose skin because it's not that bad. It's not bad. I don't have significant loose skin, but I do have some. I'll never have washboard abs, even if I get to 10% body fat, because I will need a tummy tuck if I wanted to look like, a Victoria's Secret model. And I think that is the hardest part for me. And that is what I would encourage you girls to always be conscious of, because you might think it's all going to be fun and games when you lose it and it'll be okay, but you will suffer the consequences. And that is what I'm going through right now. I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. It's just something that I wanted to share with you guys. It's something that you will eventually have to deal with if you let it get too far. So if I was you, I would just not get fat in the first place.
Listen, when you fat and go to the doctor, everything happened because you fat. If you fat, y'all, when I was skinny and I go to the doctor, they be trying to figure out what was going on. When I'm fat going to the doctor, oh, it's because you fat. I'm so sick of them. Y'all, I'm not even going to go into all this, but just know that when you fat, okay, the doctor 9 out of 10 is going to say, whatever issue you having is because you fat. It ain't going to be because this and that. Most of them are not going to listen to you. And of course, I live in a different state now, and these doctors are a little different than the ones in Texas. I'm about to just fly to Texas and go see my doctor. That's what I'm about to do, because I have tried so many doctors here, And they about on the same wavelength, okay?
Ladies, as a former fat girl.
Hi, people. Hi, good people. It's so good to see you all. Hello, hello. Hi, Jen. Hi, Reindeer. Hi, John, Nicole, Sunshine, Teddy, Sway. Hello, hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? I originally scheduled the stream to come on here and bully y'all because I didn't think I was going to be done with my certification yet, and y'all was making me feel bad. But I got it done. I even got it done a day early just for y'all. Okay, I got it done a day early just for y'all. Now I did wait till the last minute to get started, but we're not going to talk about that. Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Hi, Nicole. How are you? You were one of the people making me feel bad. You and Teddy. Teddy, I want my $1. Thank you very much. $, a little vein. Missed you guys too. Sway. Hello, hello. So when oh hey Sydney, hey, hello. Hi, I miss y'all. I miss all of you. Okay, so originally when I scheduled the stream, the title that I have now is what I wanted to talk about. But y'all, I have to admit, I came across a video that we're gonna have to review during the stream, and I was not prepared to review it. So we're just gonna have to kind of wing it on the fly. So let me show y'all really quickly what video we're gonna be looking at, and then we're gonna get into some housekeeping, and then we'll go ahead and review the video. All right. So we're gonna be looking at this. Well, we're going to be reacting to this video from Jubilee. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the channel Jubilee, but it is titled, What Defines Health? Fit Women versus Overweight Women, Middle Ground. And Jubilee is the type of show, if you're not familiar, where they take two opposing sides of an argument and they bring them together for a discussion. It's actually pretty entertaining. I don't watch it often. Every now and again, I'll watch someone reacting to it, or if it's an episode going viral, I'll go ahead and watch that. But I was doing some quick research just for some filler while I, get ready for the stream. And this video came up and I was like, oh my God, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about this. Hi, Lori. Hello. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to get back into the groove of live streaming. Okay. It's been 2 weeks and y'all have not beat me up. And I'm so happy for that. Okay. Based on our last live chat and experience, the whoosh. Oh my God, yay for the whoosh. Yay for the whoosh. I have not experienced the whoosh and it's okay. It's coming. My whoosh is coming. That's partially what we're going to be talking about tonight, okay? My whoosh is coming, all right? Sunshine, hang in there. Hang in there. 2 to 3 pounds away from seeing the 140s. That's a level of skinny I'm not mentally prepared for, Sunshine. I'm not ready for that level of skinty, okay? I'm still struggling and stumbling my way through the 170s. I recently made it down to 176. That was about as big of a whoosh that I've seen, 2 pounds in 1 week. I typically lose less than a pound per week. So to see 2 pounds in 1 week was about as big of a whoosh that I've had in a very long time. It would be really, really nice to see 5 pounds or more. But I mean, I've definitely had weeks where I've seen over 5 pounds, but it's been a while. It's been a little while since I've lost more than a pound in a week. So congratulations to Sunshine. You guys continue to give me your updates since I've been gone for a little minute in the chat. And I'll get into the video that we're going to be reviewing right before I get into some housekeeping. Okay. So we're going to be going over this video about what defines health, fit women versus overweight women. And I got about not even 5 minutes into it. I think I got about 2 minutes into it. And the question was like, they give you different prompts to discuss. So I think the first question was something like, you have control over your physique. And the people that agree with that statement come forward, and the people that disagree come forward, and they have a discussion about it. And I was like, oh yes, we're doing this. Oh yes, we're doing this. We're going to be discussing this. Okay. So we're going to put that on hold for, knowing me, probably an hour. I don't know, whatever. I don't have a certification to complete, as Sydney wants to let the whole world know. Thank you, Sydney. It was a renewal of a certification that I already had. It was good for 3 years, and then I had to renew it. I got my renewal notice a year ago, and it's a self-paced. I had to pay a few $100s to renew it, but the actual course material that I had to get through was self-paced. I waited to the very last week before the expiration of my certification to start it. That's why I had to ditch y'all. Now, I tried to be an adult and wait to the last 2 weeks. That's why I ditched y'all 2 weeks ago. Okay. But I couldn't get out of bed last week. Life was giving me lemons. That's where the title of the stream comes from. Life was giving me some lemons. And other than going to the gym, I really could not function last weekend. So I waited to the very last week. Like this past week was my last week to get it done. And I got it done. I buckled down and I got it done. So I got to stop. I got to get out of this wait to the last minute. I work best on the pressure mindset. Okay. All right. So thank you for that, Sydney. And Teddy, Teddy has paid his tithe. Thank you very much, Teddy, for the Cash App. I'm trying to log in so that I can see it. Thank you. Thank you for the $1 Cash App, Teddy. Teddy agreed to pay me $1 to go live, right? And every dollar counts. I definitely felt ditched. Well, if I was going to keep talking to y'all, I was never going to get it done. Like there were parts of me that was like, you know what, just let it lapse. I'm trying to, not that I want to lose my job, but it's not tied to my job, but it's like, if I need another job, I kind of need this cert in order to get my foot in the door at another job. So I'm like, maybe I should just let it lapse and use this as an opportunity to change fields. I was making all types of excuses, okay? When really I just needed to get rid of y'all. I needed to get rid of y'all and sit my ass down and get it done. So now it's done. Life was giving me a little bit of lemons. Okay, we're going to talk about some of that, but I'm feeling good. Okay, I'm feeling great. The holiday is coming up. Even though I'm not celebrating the holidays this year, I do have the holiday spirit. Are you guys celebrating? Are you guys celebrating Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that? The new year, that's a lot of what we're going to be talking about today because I've already declared it 2026. I'm sorry. If you wasn't ready, you should have been ready. So you ain't have to get ready. See, we're going to be talking about some of that. All right. So let's get into some housekeeping. Let me catch y'all up on a few things because your girl been gone and life has been lemoning. Life has been lemoning. Okay. So y'all already know I got my certification done. So that was a big weight over my head for the last several weeks. I mean, it's honestly been a weight over my head for the past year. And I was being a dodo bird and decided to wait to the last minute to get it done. So it really was stressing me out. Now that I finally got that done, I have a huge weight lifted off of my chest. But I've been dealing with some other lemons lately. I've had another family member pass away. Another one of my cousins lost their mom. I don't know what is happening in the year of 2025. That is 4 moms in my family this year. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. It's in the air, or if it's in the water, or if it's in the food. And it's not, I don't say that lightly as if like these were like they didn't have, medical issues and stuff like that. No, it's not that. Not that it was necessarily unexpected, but it's been a lot. It has been a lot. And I'm not a religious person. And I've been trying to find my way spiritually, but honestly, this last go round, I'm just like, okay, I need to just start praying at this point. I don't know who I'm praying to. I don't know I don't know who's gonna hear. But at this point, like it's just loss after loss after loss after loss in 1 year, and it's just been too much. And I think I've officially reached the straw that has broken the camel's back of loss. And I'm just like, you know what? It's time to practice some gratitude. It's time to practice some grace. It's time to pray for people and for myself and just, yes, enjoy life, get the best out of life, but also be very, very gracious in the things that we have and the people that we have. Okay. So that's what I've been feeling, but not in like a horrible kind of way, just in a like, maybe I've been a little checked out on like the things to appreciate. You know what I mean? So that's what's been going on with me. Thank you guys for the sorries and the well wishes and all of that. I appreciate that. So it's been hard. Yeah, it's been hard. Jen has been a member for 5 months. So thank you so much, Jen, for all of your continued support. I'm so glad y'all did not unsubscribe from me. Now, some people did. I don't know who, but I've seen a couple of unsubscribes, or it could have just been YouTube going through their usual cleanup. So I don't know, but I appreciate all of you for being here, right? We got to focus on the good things, right? I'm glad you took care of it. Sorry about your family member. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Sick of the lemons. Just give me some damn lemonade. Getting sexy is the lemonade. Y'all didn't know that? It might be some spicy hot lemonade, which don't sound the tastiest. Like I don't know if y'all remember the Master Cleanse from like 15 years ago, where you put a little cayenne pepper in the lemonade and the cayenne pepper and the apple cider vinegar. It was something weird that apparently Beyonce was drinking. I don't remember. So we're going to master cleanse the situation. Okay. So when life gives you lemons, you get sexy. Okay. You get your mind and your body right inside and out, because if you ain't got nothing else, you got your health, right? Like people have said that, right? Like there's no greater wealth than your health or something to that effect. And I'm just like, there's a lot I like to do with money though. Like there's a lot I like to do with money. And although that's still true, it's like, okay, I'm starting to understand that, like, if I have control over nothing else in my life, I have control over my health for the most part. Some people don't. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I have control over my health, and I'm trying to gain control over the way that I look and feel. All right. So when life gives you lemons and you ain't got no sugar to make no lemonade, you add a little cayenne pepper and you get sexy. That's what you do. And that goes for the men and that goes for the women. Okay. It's not just the girlies. That goes for the guys too. I ain't say no names, Teddy. Okay. All right. So more lemons, layoffs. Okay. We had a rough round of layoffs at my job. I did not get laid off. Again, another reason. It's just been reason after reason lately to just kind of take a step back and express some gratitude. This one was rough. I've talked about, a little bit of financial stress for about as long as my channel has been going on, because these layoffs have been going on for as long as my channel have been going on. The economy sucks. Shit has been rough for people, for many, many people. And if anybody out there is struggling currently, I will make sure to keep you in my prayers. But so we've had several rounds of layoffs, but this one was particularly rough. I think up until this point, the people closest to me had been spared, and this time they were not, in a very, very hurtful and devastating and depressing kind of way. So I was dealing with a little bit of anxiety because I didn't know, like, if I was among the group of people that got cut or not, because I was at my dad's, our rental for the time that the fire damage is being repaired. And I don't have no cell reception down there. So I couldn't tell if my job was trying to reach me or whatever. Like, I couldn't tell what was going on, but I'm still employed, thankfully, at the moment. But again, more lemons. But I have been dealing with all of this by just making sure that I take really good care of myself. So y'all know that I have a personal trainer. That has been going wonderfully. It's been going great. He's been awesome, even though we talk mostly through instant messaging, which it's 2025. I don't want to be on the phone with you anyway. I'm sorry to say, but I don't want to be on the phone with you. Like, I barely want to be on the phone with anybody. Okay. I'm surprised y'all get this. So it's nice that he gets to just upload my workouts for the week, and we just touch base after each workout. I work out 5 days a week, so we touch base 5 days a week after each workout. What adjustments need to be made, what I didn't like, blah, 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 blah. So that's been great. So your girl been in the gymming it, okay? The gains have been gaining. I've been getting stronger. I feel really good. The heads have been turning at the gym. Yes, they have been, because I'm very vain. So what? Oh, well. The gym fits have been fitting. I did a little tiny bit of shopping and bought some more gym clothes. So I've been feeling really good about that. You remember the master cleanse? Oh God, gross. It was nasty. Felt neglected, Miss V, lost and wandering these streets alone. Glad we're all here. Oh my God, you all found your way home? Why y'all acting like there aren't other channels out here? Don't do that. Don't be trying to make me feel special in particular, like y'all like me. You probably like me a little bit. She's upset with us. I was gonna curse y'all out a little bit. But you know what? It was so nice. Like, I was laughing, but I'm like, oh my God, Teddy and Nicole. But it was so nice for y'all to like poke me a little bit, because I was lollygagging. I thought that I was only gonna be gone a week, right? Because I left 2 weeks ago. The plan was for me to get my certification done in that week, and I didn't. And I was lollygagging. I was playing around. Then when I finally got it started, it was like into a week and a half, and y'all poking me like, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? And I'm like, shit, I do got to get back, don't I? I was kind of hoping y'all didn't miss me, but I knew that wasn't completely true because I missed y'all. But I knew if I got back on here, I was going to be fucking around. Okay. So I'm only a little bit mad at y'all. I'm only a little bit. I'm sorry. Hi, Holly. I am at work smoking a cigar. Holly, I don't think those things go together. What do you do for a living? Because I don't think work and smoking go together. Holly, HR is in the chat. Okay. So you're not supposed to say those things. Okay. Do you weigh yourself every day? I do. And the reason that I had stopped, but the reason that I do now is because Jen, my wonderful member, asked for some trends, right? To see like how my body fluctuates. So that's what I was tracking over the past week or two. And I posted that in the community if you haven't had a chance to see that. Okay. So yeah, currently I do weigh myself every day to track the trends, and some of that is going to be thrown off. One, because I do drink creatine every day, which holds onto water, and two, because I'm putting on muscle, right? So although my composition is changing, I know it is. I still want to see the scale go down, damn it. Okay. Hi, D. Marie, new person out of the clouds. Hopefully you are subscribed. Thank you so much. Your absence have been noticed. Thank you so much for the prayer as well. Thank you so much. And can we all welcome D. Marie? Okay. Sunshine, I didn't say it. Of course we missed you. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention, Nicole, but I'm a little delusional. Okay? I tell myself a lot of things that aren't real. What do you want from me? Like, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't a little delulu. I work at a cigar bar, but don't tell on me. Fun. Okay, I can't really deal with the cigar smoke, right? Like, I've tried a couple of cigars. Some of them taste delicious. I don't know anything about the ones that I've had, but I can't really sit in a cigar bar. But Holly, I would sit in a cigar bar for you. I would. Is it me, or did a bunch of y'all change your YouTube names? Did y'all change y'all names, or is this like some weird feature with YouTube that has been updated, or StreamYard? Because Gen F836. Oh, you know what? It's showing me your tags now instead of your actual name. Okay, I see. It's YouTube. 'Cause I'm like, what the hell? Okay, I see. It's showing your tags now. Okay, that's fine. You're down to 216. You better keep going, girl. Congratulations, Holly. All right. So thank you everyone for saying hello to D. Marie. All right. So lemons have been lemoning, but we have been in the gym getting fine as fuck for 2026 and beyond because we're beating everybody else to the punch. All right. So I've been going all in on health. I've been highly focused on making sure I get things as close to right as possible, but not being perfect. Honestly, I think that's how I got that 2 pounds off. And I just don't understand why I had to fight so. I don't understand why I had to fight so hard for that 2 pounds that came off, but I was fighting my ass off. Like, I wanted to throw my scale out the window because I was weighing in daily. If you haven't seen the trend, go to my community and you can see it. But I was weighing in daily, and I just kept bouncing the same 3 to 4 pounds between like 181 and 177 and 180 and 178. 178, I'm actually sick of seeing 178 on a scale. I really believe that I've been 178 for like nearly a month. And then the rest of the fluctuations have just been like changes in fluid and water. And I don't know. But I always end up back at 178. I was 178 when I woke up this morning, and I just had an attitude about it. I did. Now, I know I shouldn't take the daily weigh-in seriously. I know that, right? The only one that really, really matters is the weigh-in at the end of the week or beginning of the week for me. But man, it's been irritating. Like, I used to really enjoy weighing in every day, but that's when my progress was more consistent in the beginning, right? Like when I saw more progress in the beginning. Now that progress is a lot slower, it is highly annoying weighing in every day. So I think after I get the rest of the trends for this month, the rest of the data for this month, I'm going to go back to weighing in weekly for December because I just can't. It's been stressing me out. Okay. Something happened with the YouTube, with the username. Okay, fine. That's fine. I was like, what? But now I see the @ sign. I see the @ sign next to everybody's name. So now I don't even know if like D Marie is actually new. Like, what if you did you have a different, like, what's your actual username? Because I don't know, maybe your @ is just, I didn't recognize the ad name. Okay. All right. So, but if you are new, hello, welcome. Or just first time falling out of the clouds, hello, welcome. All right. So all in on health. Okay. So who saw the poll on my community? Let me go look at that really quickly. I put up a poll for y'all earlier today. Sorry if I was blowing up your notifications because I posted twice. Now, oh, let me show y'all this. Okay, let me show y'all this now. Okay, and of course, I'm out of practice. If you haven't already, please like the stream or dislike. Please just interact and let YouTube know you either like or dislike this content. Please hit the like or the dislike. I appreciate it very, very much. Hello, sweet tea. Hello. And hello, Deanna. Do you do measurements? I was stuck 2 weeks ago, but when I did my stomach measurements, I was down 2 inches. Oh yeah, the composition is definitely changing, right? I can see it in my clothing, but I want an on-scale victory, Deanna. I want it. Okay, I'm vain. I want it. So no, I have not been doing the measurements. Jen beat me over the head about not taking measurements for new clothing and stuff like that. So I have a measuring tape. It's still in its packaging. I've had it for about 3 weeks and I haven't taken it out. I hate taking measurements because I am curvier. Like, and that shouldn't be an excuse. I hate it because it always feels like I'm getting, like it always feels like the tape is landing somewhere different each time I do it, right? Like, I don't know. So maybe y'all are just gonna have to teach me. I'll have to watch a video to figure out how to properly do it because I literally despise taking measurements. But yes, I've noticed like my stomach getting a little bit flatter and my arms getting leaner, muscle popping a bit more. So yeah, I've definitely noticed my composition changing. But damn it, I want on-scale victories, okay? I just do. Whatever. Okay, I know we're not supposed to be all beat up about the scale, but I'm beat up, damn it. I'm mad. All right, so I posted this poll earlier. Okay, I posted this poll earlier, and now it only has 9 votes, so you don't have to go back and vote now. You can vote after the stream. But the 9 of y'all said way ahead of you, V. Let's do this. So let's see what the actual question or prompt was. Okay, so I was talking about a pregame for today's stream, and I'll just read off to y'all what I said if you didn't see it. So, do you believe in New Year resolutions? If so, I hereby announce 2026 is already here. Yes, because it is. Nobody got time to wait until January 1st. Like, the year ended in September. I don't know what people be on. But anyway, we're getting a head start on our goals before everyone else that's waiting for January 1st. We're hitting the gym while everyone is eating Thanksgiving leftovers. Now, I'm not anti-Thanksgiving eating, okay? I'm not anti-Thanksgiving. I'm not anti-holiday eating. I have just gotten to this place where it's like, it's either goals or the food. And like, if you are one of those people that can just eat whatever you want and take your shot and be straight, but I'm like, every decision I make about my food or what I drink will either push me 2 steps forward or 10 steps back. That's just how it works for me, right? So I don't make all perfect decisions, but I'm just like, it's just food. It will be here on Thanksgiving. It will be here the day after Thanksgiving. And if you're Black, it'll be here a month after Thanksgiving. Don't act like y'all don't be saving leftovers for a month, okay? Because we do that. Why do we do that? I don't know. If you got a deep freezer, that baked macaroni and cheese or them greens from Thanksgiving are still available a week before Christmas. Don't ask me why. I don't know why Black people do that, but anyway, or maybe everybody does that. I don't know. I've never been to a non-Black household for Thanksgiving, but anyway, it's just food, okay? And I feel like naturally, hold on really quickly, at the belly button. Okay, I would show you my belly button, Jen. But okay, the thing about it is, Jen, right? I have this sidebar, guys, sidebar. The thing about it is, Jen, right? So I put the measuring tape around my belly button, right? maybe you just answered the question for me, but I have these, like, I have side and back rolls that, like, I feel like sometimes my measurement is off, because if I measure below the roll, right, I'm going to get a smaller measurement around the waist. But if I measure at the back roll, then I'm going to get, of course, a wider measurement. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe I should just, like, show you guys what I'm talking about. I'll just show y'all. Okay, I'll just show y'all what I'm talking about. All right, but I am going to get to measuring. I just don't think I do it right. But we'll aim for the belly button, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so what you laughing at, Teddy? What happened? I know you're not laughing at what I said, because it's true. Okay? I eat Thanksgiving food all year long. I'm not that much of a foodie. So even when Thanksgiving comes, I still eat. I would only eat like chicken and rice. I just started eating big macaroni and cheese last year. And all of the other Thanksgiving foods, turkey and greens and this and this and that, I don't typically indulge in, because I just don't care for that stuff. Going to eat fried chicken tomorrow with some mac and cheese. Okay. Well, I'm just saying. And Sweet Tea has been getting her steps in, y'all. I have not been walking, and I wanted to increase my walking this week, and I have not. Like, I have not been walking. I have been hitting the gym and hitting them sheets. Like, if I'm not at my computer desk or sleep, I'm at the gym. And I'm not saying that's how other people need to be. That's just what I've been focused on lately. So my steps have been suffering. Okay, so Thanksgiving, right? I remember I was just starting Tirzepatide last year, and I was doing a bit of a stupid challenge where I gave up sugar. So I had a bit of an attitude, because I felt like it was cramping my style as far as holiday cheer, right? There's certain foods, not foods, let's say treats or sweets, that I literally only eat at this time of year. So like cake is extremely rare, not impossible or it never happens, but it is extremely rare to see me eat cake outside of a holiday or a birthday, right? I try not to just randomly be eating cake, because I'll eat a lot of it. So I typically look forward to Thanksgiving, because somebody, not me, is going to be baking cake, and I want some. And to be honest, I'm house sitting currently. I'm back in Raleigh, which is why I have a McDonald's iced coffee. Y'all have not seen me with one of these in months, right? I got back to my old neighborhood, felt a little nostalgic, and wanted to have some iced coffee. So I've been drinking this again. And when I leave here, it'll be done. But because I'm back here, I'll be close to family, and they'll be cooking and stuff. So hopefully someone makes some strawberry cake and I can have some. But for the most part, right? The second thing that we're not doing, right? Because it's just food. It's going to be here today. It's going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be here a month from now, whatever. It's just food, right? So we don't have to make exceptions like we do. This is just people, right? We don't have to make exceptions for overindulging at this time of year. Now, most of us are on GLP-1s, so you would think, oh, we can't overindulge anyway. Well, that's where we get to point number 2. Now, I had a typo. What it was supposed to say is, we're taking our shots on time while everyone else is taking a break to have an appetite. I am not pulling this out of my ass. I don't know if any content creators will say this, but there will be people that will skip their shot next week in order to have an appetite on Thursday, right? Thanksgiving is next week, right? Or is it the week after? Don't get me to lying on people. I'm lying on people. It's next week. Okay, yeah, it's next week. November's almost over. Oh my gosh. So there will be people that will skip their shot this weekend or next week in order to make sure they have enough of an appetite to indulge or overindulge. And we're not doing that over here. I am your vain overlord, and I forbid it. Is it forbade or forbid? I think it's forbid. Forbade would be like past tense, right? Whatever. I am forbidding all of you from skipping your shot to be able to eat for Thanksgiving. Now, I'm ready for the pushback if you're going to push. Okay, I'm ready for the push, but we're not doing that. Okay, so when the girls, when January 2nd hit and the girls haven't lost, like, okay, so the girls and the guys, right? I'm going to say the girls, but I'm talking to everybody, right? So the guys, y'all are just going to have to be the girls for now. Okay, whatever. It's a figure of speech. But when it's January 2nd, January 3rd, and the girls realize that they haven't lost weight in 5 weeks because they've been overindulging and skipping shots and not working out and not drinking any water, we gonna be 17 steps ahead. Like we gonna be full steam ahead to summer body 2026. Yes, I'm vain. Oh well. Yes, it is the fall of 2025, and I am thinking about the summer of 2026. I am. Before that is my 30th birthday in March. That's very important. I still have not revealed where I'm going, and y'all probably won't know until I get there. We'll see. I'm going to Europe, but I didn't say which country. But listen, the girls that's gonna be skipping shots or trying to be Delulu and get off of their what do you call it? Get off of their GLP-1 because they think they can control themselves or whatever the case may be, right? Whatever happens, whatever veil comes over us this time of year before a GLP-1, just because we're on a GLP-1 doesn't mean that same energy doesn't creep up on us, right? It doesn't mean that those same old habits attached to the holidays don't creep up on us. So I'm deciding for everyone. You guys don't get a vote. I mean, but if you want to, you can tell me why, right? Like if y'all want to, if anybody wants to skip their shot, I'm not picking on you. Just tell me why so I can talk some sense into you, okay? I'm officially approaching auntie age. I might already be at auntie age. So let auntie tell you why you are crazy if you want to skip your shot for the holidays, okay? It's just food. It's not that fucking serious. And y'all, do you know that it has officially dawned on me? I don't even know if I want to say this because this could like derail the whole situation I got going on. It's dawned on me. I am at the point of acceptance that maybe we just eat a little too much. Maybe we just eat too much. Maybe. Like maybe now that we're on a GLP-1, that's not the case. But like when we think about what is like making people big overall, right? Like obese, overweight, whatever. And I'm talking about in America. So if I have any like a non-American audience, I don't know what y'all do in y'all countries. Y'all can tell me. Maybe we just eat too much. And the reason that's a big deal for me to say that, hi, Alexis. Hello, beautiful. Hello. I'm glad you got to join us. The reason that's a big deal for me to say that is because I'm not going to lie. Okay. Let's just maybe acknowledge the fact that a lot of us that have yo-yo dieted over years have a smidge of PTSD from constantly having to hear eat less, move more, right? To the point where it's kind of natural to push back and it's like, we're not eating too much. Something's wrong with the food. Something's wrong with the environment. Something's wrong with our metabolism. Something's wrong with our metabolic system. That's why we're gaining the weight, right? It's not always about eating too much. I'm not going to lie. That has been my attitude for my up and down weight loss journey for the past 7 to 8 years, right? Whenever someone says just eat less, it's very triggering because it's like, we've tried that. Okay. We've tried that. It doesn't work. But right? Are y'all following me so far? Right? It's very triggering when someone just says, oh, just eat less, just eat less, just eat less. Right? Hello, Andrew. How are you doing, Andrew? How are you? Good to see you. It's very triggering, right? But like the stream as you are coming in. Please, please, please hit the like. I appreciate you all. Or the dislike. All right. Leave a comment. Say hello. We don't bite, only sometimes. Okay. But even though when people say eat less, move more is triggering, maybe we just eat too much, right? Some of us, and we don't move enough. And that is coming from that is coming from a person on a GLP-1 who has not had the smoothest of rides to lose 60-ish pounds. I don't even know where I'm at now. Somebody do the math. I was started at 242. I'm now at 176. Somebody do the math. 65-ish pounds, right? Something like that. It dawned on me, right? At times, like lately, when my weight loss has been slow and I've been really, really trying to dial in and make sure I'm focused when I'm not making the right choices, and I you know, I try to make note of the decisions that I am making with my food. It's registering to me that like a lot of my old habits that still slip in are me just eating too much, even on a GLP-1. So for example, I had a day a week ago where I was going to the gym, I was doing everything right. I was doing everything I was supposed to do, right? For about a week straight. And then I went to eat out. And then I continued on with my day, my normal protein shake, blah, 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 blah. A couple of days passed and I got irritated because the scale was going up, right? Not supposed to put that much emphasis into the scale on a day-to-day basis, but I got irritated. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go back and like calculate, like, and track what I was eating for the past 2 days. Because whenever I eat out, I don't track because it's for the most part inaccurate. So I was like, well, let me just see what was going on for the past 2 days. So that day that I ate out, I went on my app and I tracked my food, and it had me at 1,200 calories for one meal. And that was plus the Starbucks coffee I had with it. That was including that. It had me and that was just for breakfast or brunch. It was for brunch. It was my first meal of the day with a coffee. I was at 1,200 calories before my day even really fully got started. I was at 1,200 calories. And this is a place, it was Huddle House. I don't know if y'all know Huddle House, think Waffle House, but like Waffle House's cousin or something. They're not under the same company or anything, but just think Huddle House is like Waffle House with more options. This is a place where I had eaten several times before. The town where we live now, it's a very, very small town. Not a lot of like you got to drive 35 miles to do anything. But what is there is just mostly like fast food, a couple of diners, a couple of hotels and gas stations and stuff like that. Because the closest town or town where you're gonna find anything is like a rest stop. Okay. So this is a diner essentially at a rest stop. And I've eaten there plenty of times. 1,200 calories. And I was like, we eat too much. And it wasn't a big, now it wasn't about the quantity. It was the quality of the meal. It wasn't a huge meal, but the caloric density of the one meal was just like, I still have to eat for the rest of the day. So I probably could, like, you could potentially eat yourself into a 2,500, 3,000 calorie day, and you're not working out. Now it's a little different for me because I am working out. So maybe I can afford to eat a little more calories. But the point that I'm trying to make is I've just had this realization of like, maybe we just eat too fucking much. All right. Food, it's not that fucking serious. It's just food. It's just food. I have been cooking. I have been eating at home consistently. I probably eat out now like once a week. I have cut out the majority of my snacking and the majority of my eating out. So with that being said, back to the whole, like, the poll that I was doing earlier, when it comes to this time of year, it's just food. Chill out and remember the bigger picture. Okay. We need to be building habits that are long lasting. So that doesn't mean don't enjoy the holidays, but let's be reasonable about some of this. And when it comes to taking our shot, we're taking our shot on time. We are not skipping our shot to make sure that we can eat more. We already eat too much. We eat too much. Okay. Whether you're on a GLP-1 or not, some people on a GLP-1 have gotten their eating under control. And then there's others that's like, you still have times where you just eat too much. So you got to be very, very fucking diligent because those bad habits will get you. Okay. All right. So I did hear that Hollandale, thank you, Alexis. I don't know if you said it in the chat, but I saw somebody else say it, and I also saw you say it in the comment. I just didn't get a chance to respond yet. Sidebar, I hear Hollandale has Tirzepatide again, and I am a big, big fan of Hollandale from last year. So hopefully nothing has changed, right? Hopefully they're not mixing it with anything, because Hollandale's compound was the closest thing to brand that I had at the time last year before I ever tried brand. It was the best compound I ever had. So hopefully they still live up to that, because I'm telling y'all now, with the way these layoffs are going, if I get laid off, I'm going to compound. Sue me. I'm not going to Ozempic, even though they're cutting prices. Shout out to Eli Lilly for doing a price drop for 2026 and opening up options. I know it's not the best of circumstances, but it's better than what we had. But yeah, if I get laid off, I'm going to Compound. And now that I know Hollandale has Tirzepatide, I will be, going through whatever telehealth is working with Hollandale. So thank you for that information. Yeah, eating out will get you quick. Yeah, it's to the point where it's not even worth it. Like for more than like once a week, once every other week. Some food is a part of the reason we eat too much. For everyone who can out eat their meds, if your stomach doesn't tell you to stop, does your brain tell you to stop, but you keep going? I don't out eat my meds in quantity, but I have poor quality options. So the caloric density is so high, right? So like, how do I want to put this? Like, I can't physically overeat, if that makes sense, right? So I can't eat a meal and then a snack. Well, I can't eat a meal and then dessert and then a snack and then another meal. Like, I can't do that. But I can pick a meal that's so caloric dense that by the time I'm done eating for the day, I've overeaten, if that makes sense, calorie wise. Let me know if that clears that up. Now, for anybody that's out eating their meds physically, I think it's maybe because of the size of their stomach, right? So the bigger you get, the more obese you get, your stomach stretches out. That's why a lot of people go through bariatric surgery to either shorten the intestine or to shrink the size of the stomach or whatever, or to bypass, they do a bypass to bypass are they bypassing the stomach or are they bypassing like the part of the intestines? I don't know. But if you ever watch 600-Pound Life, when they take someone's stomach out, right? When they take out 90% of their stomach, it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's like the size of a small cat. It's like the size of like a small cat, like a kitten, like bigger than a kitten. So I think that for people that have enlarged literal stomachs, right, the organ, the hormonal interventions can only go so far, right? And then the rest is up to habit. And then maybe even surgery. I haven't really heard a lot about people combining the two, right? So combining GLP-1 with bariatric surgery, but that might be a good option for some people. So yeah, I think they just have I could be wrong, but in my mind, they just simply have the capacity for the extra food if you don't have a normal sized stomach. I've been eating twice a day, trying to get back on track, eating one meal every other day. Now, John, why would you eat one meal? Now, I am team fasting, so I understand from that perspective. But is there another reason that you would choose to eat one meal every other day? Who are you all with? Just switch to Brello, and they use South End, but I start next week. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of people say they are overeating the meds. I don't know. The way that I describe it is like I said, if I can eat a meal that's a normal sized meal, but what I picked, right? So what did me in was the hash browns. Okay, so let me give myself an example. I can show y'all. We've done this before. I showed y'all a picture of this, and it was like how this was the meal where I timed myself to see how quickly I was eating. Let's see. This is a good picture, but I want to see if they have like oh, I know what to do. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Let me give y'all a visual. Okay, boom, this one right here. No. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, disregard the grits, toast, and the waffle. I don't do waffles. I would love to have a waffle, but I don't. So the bacon, the eggs, the sausage, and the hash brown, right? this is what I had. This is what I had. And the reason that I had, if you consider this a big meal, the reason that I had such a big meal, it's not big to me, but the reason I had such a big meal is because I'm trying to get a certain amount of protein into my diet. The problem with this is all of these foods naturally, except the potatoes, come with fat attached to them, right? And I'm not afraid of eating fat, but fat is very calorically dense. So I'm trying to navigate getting my protein without getting so much fat, just to make sure that I'm not killing like 70% of my calories just off of one meal. So this is what I had. I had eggs, bacon, sausage, and the hash browns. The hash browns is really what did me in, because potatoes are very high in calories and calorically dense, and it probably was all of it, honestly, together. But it was about 1,200 calories. It was about, well, I had a coffee with this. I had a coffee with a couple pumps of caramel, and my dairy of choice was whole milk. So whole milk is also calorically dense. So for me to eat, and I was probably on like day 5, after shot day. So I had the appetite to eat it. Of course, I've been working out, so I had the appetite to eat it. This is not me. To me, I wouldn't be out eating my shot by having this. Like physically, I can eat this and feel full. In fact, I honestly have a little bit left over, right? So I don't clean the plate. I have a little bit left over. But the amount of calories in this was just too high. It was just too high. Okay, you were wondering what out eating their shot means. Okay. It could be the amount of food. Okay, Andrew, thank you for stopping in to say hi, have a good night. Stop talking to me, AI. There are a few channels I've seen where they had bariatric surgery and now on GLP-1 to continue weight loss. Okay. I physically get nauseous if I overeat or even pass a few bites. Zep allows me to do. If I go past, I get sick. Oh, okay. I can eat. I don't have no problems eating. I don't really want to eat anything other than like days 1 through 3 or days 0 through 2. Better yet said, it's hard. It's hard to eat anything. So by the time I get to days 5, 6, 7, I'm ready to go. I don't know if it's the Tirzepatide. I don't know if it's the Terz is the strongest, but you can't beat the price. Oh, okay. The question now is, what is a normal size meal for us? That is a great question. I eat 2,000 and 3,500 calories in a meal, so I try not to eat more than once a day. Okay, all right. So that is a lot. Wow, I don't even know how you do that. Okay. Mochi. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the the telehealth talk because I'm out of the loop on the telehealth. I think people force feed themselves. Hi MVP, so they aren't hungry but think they have to meet a specific caloric number, so they don't so that they eat. I'm sorry, I'm having like the weirdest time reading right now. Let's start over. I think some people force feed themselves so they aren't hungry, but think they have to meet a specific caloric number, so they eat even when they don't want to. I do that. Okay. I'm getting better at that. We talk. MVP. I don't know if you saw the members only stream at the time, but we talked about how I was just making weird decisions as far as like the timing of the day that I would eat and what I would eat, even though I wasn't hungry because I was so busy trying to get the calories in. I have been working on that. I have definitely been trying to be much more strategic about what I'm eating and when I'm eating. And although it is kind of hard to wait until you get hungry, because if it's up to me, the first 3 days of my shot, I won't get hungry. I won't eat anything. I won't drink any water because I'm not thirsty. I'll live on coffee for 3 days straight and be perfectly fine. Well, about day 3, I'll probably start getting a little lightheaded. And I'm like, shit, when the last time I ate? So I do try to be more diligent. But I will say for a long time, I was eating just to eat. I wasn't hungry. I just didn't want to undereat. So that's definitely a thing too. Okay. I would never be able to eat all of that. Even with working out, Nicole, well, I couldn't eat all of it either. I didn't finish it. That's another thing. My eyes are bigger than my stomach still, right? Y'all know that terminology or that saying, my eyes are bigger than my stomach. My eyes are bigger than my stomach, which is from before being on a GLP-1, right? That's just a a hard habit to break. So I still order too much food. And then I'm learning to be okay with just not finishing it, right? There were times where I would force finish my food because I didn't want to either waste the money or waste the food. Now, if I'm done, I just finish it. I mean, not finish it. I just leave it. Freudian slip. I just leave it. If I'm done, I just leave it. I just leave it. Shout out to Skinny Talk. Skinny Talk is like, you do not have to finish all your food. I was like, I don't. I probably should stay on Eli Lily Direct. Yeah. Why mess with good things? Yeah, I agree. Hello, Wellness with Lisa. Hello. It doesn't hurt to try. Now I don't have anything to say about compound, but if you don't like it, you can always come back. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Listen, let me get laid off. I'm going right to compound. Who telehealth, the telehealth that has what do you call it? Hollandale, raise your hand and I'm coming to you, okay? But shout out to Lily for, making strides to lower prices. I was going to do a stream about that. I just didn't feel like arguing because I knew it was going to be an argument if I say, like, kudos to Eli Lilly for, making an effort, right? Because they could have just said, fuck y'all, this is the price. And it is what it is, right? But we went from only having auto injector pins for what, $1,000 to $1,300. So let's just say $1,100 if you don't have insurance. We went from that to having, or maybe the coupon was always available if you had insurance. So that would bring it down to like what, $550 or something like that, $600, $650. Then we went to having the vials through Lily Direct, so you can get your vials for $400 or $500. Then they lowered the price of the vials if you stick with them and renew every 45 days. I think they lowered the price of the vials twice. Then they made all doses of 7.5 and above all the same price. And then so now we're at a point where we're getting another $50 drop. And in addition, more people will have access through their government healthcare insurance, right? So all of those people that did not have access because of finances or because of whatever, they're on public assistance or whatever, they're now going to have an opportunity, and they're not diabetic, right? Because I think you could get Mounjaro if you were diabetic and on Medicaid and Medicare, I think. But now they can have access without robbing the government blind. That's why the government wouldn't cover it, because it's too goddamn expensive. So to be honest, to me, this is a win. What Eli Lilly has worked out with the administration, and for people paying out of pocket, getting another $50 drop. I don't know. It's a win to me. And they're looking now. This is all depending on approval for a multi-use pen. Did y'all catch that part, right? So you know how you have four auto-injector pens right now? I think in Europe, they have a single-use pen and they just change out the needle. That's what we're waiting on FDA approval for in the US. And if we can get that, then we can get lower prices moving forward. I think that's the plan. So shout out to that. Emerge Weight Loss has Hollandale. Hello, Sushi. It's so good to see you. Okay. I used to be part of the Clean Plate Club when I was a kid. Wasn't allowed to get up from the table until I ate everything on my plate. Maybe we need to talk about that, because I've heard lots and lots of people say that, but I wasn't raised that way. But I have a scarcity mindset. So because of a lack of availability as a kid, I feel forced to finish my food as an adult, right? As if I'm not going to get food again. It's just food. And I don't say that to minimize people that don't have access to food as easily as I do. I'm just saying I have to recognize I have to have some situational awareness. Eat what's in front of me. If I'm done eating, push the plate away. So I have to learn how to push the plate away. And it's been hard. I get like a little bit of anxiety when I get up and walk from a plate in a restaurant. I'm like, oh my God, I just spent that money. So maybe I should just not eat out. Maybe I should just not eat. That's how it feels. Maybe I just won't eat out because I don't want to waste the money. So yeah, it's something I have to learn. An argument. It's an opinion. People are silly if they come for you. You can't come for me, Sunshine. Not you, but people. People can't come for me. In fact, I invite people to try. But when I say an argument, I already know how some people feel, right? I already know that the leading opinion or feeling or thought is that the prices are unfair. We talked about this in a stream or two ago. The prices are unfair. We talked about it. So it's just like the people that are not on brand are not going to care, right? So that's first of all. And the people that are on brand but still feel like the prices are unfair, they're not going to be satisfied with a $50 cut. So they're not, there's just some people are just not going to be satisfied until brand undercuts compound. And quiet is kept. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. If it does, shit, I'm not going to be complaining. But quiet is kept. It shouldn't. Like my stance going into that stream, had I done it, was going to be, asking the question, what do we think about the price cut? Because I don't think Zepbound brand should be less than compound or the same price as compound. I don't think it should be because it's that damn good. So I don't give a shit how much it costs to make it. I don't give a shit how much Eli Lilly is profiting. I don't care about none of that. If compounders and telehealth companies are getting this medication, Tirzepatide, compounded Tirzepatide to people for $199, Eli Lilly should be charging $400 or $500. That's how I feel. And I really don't want to fight about that. Like, leave it to me to say I don't want to argue because I'm the argue queen. If my audio randomly changes, let me know because that probably means my mic died and I'll just switch out mics. But I just didn't really feel like debating it because I was like, I already know how people feel. The prices are not fair, still overpriced. People need access, blah, blah, blah. A person like me, my job's on the line and I'm still not complaining. I'm just like, well, hey, if I can't afford brand anymore, I will go to compound. I'm not going to just not get my medication, So very much so, Jen. And that's why I just don't, me, I'm willing to take up a fight at any moment. And I don't really mean a fight. I just mean like a debate. I'm willing to take up a debate at any moment. It's just that one, I already knew what the response was going to be. So I was just like, that's why I didn't speak on the price cut. I didn't speak on it. I saw a couple people post about it. So I commented on that, but I didn't really talk about it because it's just like, you don't know. You don't know. If you've never been on brand, you don't know. You just don't know. So like we could complain till the cows come home, but I just always look at it as Eli Lilly could have said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck all y'all. This is what it is. And if you want this life-saving medication, this is what you got to do to get it. This is what you got to pay, $1,100, and that's the end of it. That's what they could have said, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things continue to develop. Okay. All right. So let's remove this. Okay. Yes, I'm getting more and more comfortable with pushing the plate away, right? Because y'all, we just eat too much, all right? So the next thing, we are prioritizing rest and recovery while everyone is ramping up the partying. Now, again, I'm not anti-holiday. I'm not anti-partying. I'm not anti-drinking. I'm not anti-having a good time. I'm anti, at this point, letting ourselves go, okay? So if we can't have a good time without letting ourselves go, because I don't feel like we have to choose one or the other. I don't think we have to choose living it up or buckling down and focusing. Find a way, find a happy medium and work with that. Me, I don't really got nowhere to party anyway, so I'm just gonna buckle down. I don't really have no parties to go to. I don't really have no celebrations going on. So maybe it's a little easier, and I'm working straight through the holiday. Like I will be working on Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's Day if it's on a week, Monday through a Thursday. I don't even know what day of the week it's on. But I just feel like it's human, it's natural, it's the good old American way to get to this time of year and just cut loose and let that gut hang out there. Okay. Fine. If you want to wait till January 3rd to take life seriously, go ahead. But I'm judging from the sideline. I'm working on that. I have not reached my lack of judgment phase in my life. I'm working on it. Okay. The other things first. But let me tell you something. I enjoy going to the gym now while the gym is empty for the most part, depending on what city you're in. If you're in a smaller town, it's a little bit easier, but the gyms are kind of empty now because people are waiting for January to get their shit together. You understand what I mean? Like people are waiting until January to take life seriously. So they not signing up for the gym now. They're waiting for the deals, the $1, sign up fee deals. Fine, okay, whatever. At the beginning of the year. Here's what I'm proposing. If you are a workout type of person, right, whether from home or the gym, I do a combination of the two right now. I want to be so far into my routine that it doesn't even register that the new year is upon us. Like, I believe in well, it's not that I believe in New Year's resolutions, but I do believe in like time frames and like cutoff points. So like the way the new year works in my mind, when January 1st gets here, it's literally a new year. Like, it's literally, you know how some people say there's no difference between the 31st and the 1st. It's just another day. My brain don't work like that. 2025 is over. like people say new year, new me. We all say it and then never accomplish it. Well, I'm the type of person that I don't say new year, new me, but I definitely believe in leaving kind of like what's packaged in the prior year there. Like, I do believe in that. Like, we ain't got to worry about that no more. We ain't got to talk about that no more. We got to think about it. Like, right? So I do believe in new beginnings, fresh starts, and all of that. However, so you would think with that mentality that I'd be like really, really gung-ho and looking forward to the new year. I am, but not about this. This is like, we're starting 8 weeks in advance. Now we don't have 8 weeks anymore, but we have like, what, 5 or 6 weeks or something like that. I believe that when it comes to our health and our fitness and our mindset, we got to start now before everybody else. We have to start before everybody else. So when that rush of people at the gym that ain't never been to the gym before or haven't been to the gym in years, when that happens on January 2nd, we're not bothered by it because we're already full throttle into our routine. So we're going to be there whether it's packed or not, we're going. It can be overwhelming at the start of the year when you're really trying to get into your groove and everybody else is trying to get into their groove at the same time. So now you fighting over machines and shit. No. Okay. If you already know what you there to do, you get in and you get out. You get in and you don't even have to think about it. You don't even got to think about, I don't want to get up because it's cold outside. I don't want to get up because the gym going to be full. I don't want to get up because of this. You're already in full swing of your routine. Get in the gym now. If you're a gym person, get in the gym now while basically nobody's there. Now, if you live in a busy city, that might be a little different. You might have to find a time of day when nobody's there. But get into whatever your routine is going to be, whether it's a gym or something else or whatever. Get into the full swing of your routine now so that by the time the new year comes and people are just now starting to take life seriously, you're way ahead of the game, right? Because that's what this is about. This is all about being ahead of the game. So prioritizing our rest and recovery. Get your sleep. Okay. Y'all huffed and puffed and fussed at me about slowing down with the house sitting and chilling out and sitting down. Well, I went and sat down for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. And I will say it was definitely worth it. It was worth not having the responsibility of the pets. It was worth not having to get up at a certain time. It was worth being able to sleep in when I felt like it. It was not easy getting up 3 days a week to drive 35 fucking miles to the gym. That was not easy. Okay. Right. So when I'm house sitting, I have the benefit of having easier access to my amenities. Right. But when I'm home, everything is a 45-minute drive away. But with that being said, it was nice to relax and rest and sleep. And that's why basically, other than to go to the gym, I didn't get out of bed last weekend. So we're taking our rest and our recovery seriously, but we're resting and recovering with a purpose. Are we all in agreement to some extent? Okay. Are we all in agreement to some extent? Let me see what y'all saying. I'm happy with my Zep. I pay out of pocket. I just didn't want to unnecessarily be a brand snob. If Compound Terz is exactly the same, it's not. It's not exactly the same, but you can get damn close with a good compounding pharmacy. And from what I experienced, Hollandale was doing the damn thing. I don't know about now. I'm anti-gluttony. I'm anti-sloth. I am anti-gluttony because I never really acknowledged gluttony. So I am anti-gluttony, but I am even more anti-sloth, if that makes sense. Like, I have spoken over and over again about SAD, and I've just gotten to the point where I'm just not willing to complain about it. Now, I'll talk about it for education's sake or to check in with y'all for those that might be suffering, but ain't no time to cry about it. What we gonna do about it? And what we doing is getting the hell up. I have been outside in the fucking darkness more in the past 2 weeks than I have in the past year. That sounds crazy, but it's true. I don't go outside at night. For what? It's dark. I wear glasses. I can't see. It's cold this time of year. What are we going outside for? There's nothing out there for me. I will get up, put on my gym clothes in the dark, right? Not in the dark inside, but knowing it's dark outside, and go to the gym. I will get in my car and I will drive to the gym, knowing that my body and my mind don't want me to do that. But I just ignore all of that anxiety noise and SAD noise, and I get up and I go. But going outside at night, that's not a thing I do. It's just like, what for what? It's no, stay in the house. We should continue the step challenge through the end of the year. But y'all have the app. Y'all have the, I mean, we have the app. So all you got to do is keep getting your steps in and checking in where everybody else is. So it's not really even, it's in more of like I feel like this is developing into more of like an individual challenge. So I would agree. Pro balance. I would agree. Yes, I would agree. We've spent too much money and time to let it all go. What are we letting go now? We've spent too much time and money to let it all go. Are we talking about compound? Is that what we're talking about? Or are we talking about GLP-1s in general? Let me know. You're talking about like overall, like our progress, our accomplishments. Absolutely. I did a vision board in September and been achieving my goals. Why wait? Do it now. I do want to do a vision board. And now that you've said that, I guess I'll do a digital one, right? I'm more of like a hands-on kind of person. So I tried this a few years ago where I went and got all of the supplies to do it, but I put it together and never looked at it again. So I'm afraid of wasting the money on the supplies again. So if I can do a digital vision board, I will do that. It's exactly what I've been wanting to talk about. Everyone always puts things off until January 1st, and then the day comes and nobody changed anything, right? Like, so what's the difference between now and January 1st? You may as well start now. That's the trap I used to fall into. Absolutely. I feel like the holiday scheme is marketed around, New Year, new me, New Year's resolutions. Oh, I'm gonna get my summer body. Listen, here's how the cycle goes, right? You get through the summer, the kids go back to school, you start preparing for the holidays, and you start getting fat. Okay? You start getting fat. You start, not that you wasn't cooking before, but you start eating more, you start indulging in the sweets more, you start spending more time with family, and you start getting fat, and it get cold, and you start getting lazy. Yes, I'm using the L word because we get lazy, okay? Start getting fat, you start getting lazy, and you tell yourself, clean slate, January 1st. Next year, I'm going to be ready. When the summer comes, I'm going to be ready. January 2nd hits, and you join the gym, and you probably go for about 2 to 3 days before you crash and burn, right? Maybe you make it a whole week or two before you crash and burn. Then you don't go back for the rest of January. You don't go back for the rest of February. Then March comes around, especially if you're in the like the Southeast. Then March comes around and spring starts creeping up on that neck. Spring starts to creep and starts laughing at you like in the corner, like a little devil in the corner, even though spring is not the devil. Spring is an angel, right? I am an angel baby. I am a March baby. I am a spring baby. But you start to perceive spring creeping up on you as like a little devil in the corner, and you get that little break in the weather. Now, my West Coast people probably don't know what this feels like, but on the East Coast, we know, right? It may be a little different. If you're further north, maybe you got more time till April, May. But in the Southeast, late March hit, and you get that first day where you don't have to go outside with a jacket on, and the weather is just perfect. It's pristine. and you realize you're still fat and you haven't been to the gym in 3 months and you still been eating Thanksgiving leftovers since November and Christmas leftovers and New Year's leftovers and all those sweets and that cake that you sliced up and put in the freezer and you've been picking that since December, November, if you're nasty, okay? So then spring comes around and and then you get that feeling like, oh my God, crop top weather. Now, if you're a little older, it might just be sleeveless weather. It might be show a little ankle weather, let your toes out weather. You ain't waxed your legs in 6 months. You ain't waxed your legs in 6 months, okay? Or shaved them or whatever, right? Like you ain't been working out. You ain't been eating right. Your skin been dry for the winter because you ain't been drinking no water. You ain't been outside because it's been cold and the SAD been whooping your arse. And then when that springtime come and you can put on some sandals and you can let your toes out and you want to wear something cute, you want to show your clavicles, but they're buried under fat, or you want to show your arms, but your arms just don't look right in that top, or you want to wear a certain dress, but the fupa is fupa-ing, then you start to get mad and you're like, oh shit, I waited too long. Damn it. It's time to hit the gym. But you still don't go. You just get mad and you just kind of beat yourself up a little bit. Then March passes and April passes and May passes and it's officially like summer is approaching. It's gotten hot and it's time to take the clothes off. Now I'm not, if you're more conservative than whatever your version is, okay? But it's time to take the clothes off and you can't because you've been fat all year, all winter and all spring. You've been fat. So now it's May 30th and you talk about getting your summer body ready. You're too late. You waited too long. Okay. Now I know that we need to talk about health and A1Cs and blood sugar levels and yeah, we need to talk about vitamins and deficiencies. We need to talk about all that. But I'm just being purely vain right now because this is how the cycle goes. This is how it goes. You done fell into the January 1st trap and now it's 5 months into the year and you ain't done no fucking work. And here's another summer where you're wearing swimsuits that you don't like. You're wearing clothes that you don't like. And you tell yourself you're going to get it done again the next year. And before you know it, it's September and you done spent the summer in a body that you don't want to be in. Can't walk around because your knees hurt or you're too heavy, you're out of breath. I had that summer. Nothing looks right. Nothing fits. So it's like, it's the same cycle every single year. It's the same cycle. And then before you know it, we back at Thanksgiving again. And you telling yourself, okay, next January 1st, you're going to take it seriously. I know because I've done this every year. I just described my cycle every goddamn year. Clavicle check. Okay. I'm just saying. So we're not doing that this year. GLP-1 or not, even with a GLP-1, I still had, the only thing I didn't do that got removed from the cycle was the January 1st aspect. But I played around all fall. I played around all winter. The spring came. I was like, oh, my birthday's here. Let me hurry up and lose a little. And then I kept playing around, and the summer was here and I wasn't where I needed to be. We're not doing that. Okay. We getting started now, as of like right now, as in like 2 weeks ago, the new year started. And that's just what it is. Are y'all satisfied with my rant? Discipline. Yes. Absolutely, to the discipline. You're teaching me, or should I say motivating me to push through SAD, and the challenge helps. Absolutely. I hate going outside. I hate going outside in the fall, but you know what I've been doing? Going outside. I enjoy checking on everyone's steps. I don't. I love you all for pushing me to walk more and take more steps. And I'm really, shout out to Michelle for recommending a group app where we can all track each other. I'll be checking that app. Now, every once in a while, I'll check to see if y'all are still there, because if y'all all leave, I'm just gonna delete it. But the fact that I see y'all all still there, I'm like, oh, look at Nicole, look at Jen's stats, oh, Sunshine. Oh my God, look at you guys. Morgan's still beating everybody. But I don't be looking to check my steps because you'll fuck around and have a day where I only got 900 steps. And that's because I stayed in bed all day. It's the weekend. I ain't got shit to do. I'm laying the fuck down. But that day I went to the gym and bust my ass for an hour. It just, you know, it didn't count as a certain number of steps. So I went and I pumped iron. So I'm feeling good, but I went to lay back down afterwards. Whatever. I've never done a vision board. Maybe I'll try and put one together next weekend. I've always enjoyed, like, when it comes to the idea of a vision board, when I did my very first one, my only one, I put up pictures of inspiration for like body types, like sporty, muscular, not too muscular, but you look like you work out on a regular basis, fit. I should say fit, right? I would add fit body images that were my inspiration. And I think I will do that again. My plan is to be in maintenance by January 1st, 2026. I finally made it to 150s. Yay. I only have 7 more pounds to the final goal. That's assuming I am totally unbig backed. Y'all already know how I feel. I have a goal, but I can guarantee you it's just the first goal, right? Somebody told me recently, and I was so proud. I forget their name. I'm so sorry if you're watching, let me know. But they commented on my video about people's goals being obese or overweight. And I think this person was a female, and I think they were about 5'4", and she was saying that her goal was to be no more than 125. And then she gave her reasons behind that, right? That's my ideal weight. That puts me in a normal weight range, and I want to be this. And I was like, you go, you go, girl. Not that 125 is an important number, but it was just very well thought out of like, I'm not ashamed, or like, I'm not afraid, not ashamed. I'm not afraid to embrace what's appropriate for my height. Okay. I'm a shorty. 5'4" is I'm 5'3", but this person, right? I'm speaking as if I'm there. I'm a shorty, 5'4". I got about 120 to 135 in me. So we're going to land at 125. All right. Like 140 is pushing it. That's pushing it. Right. You know, so I was just I was proud. Like, you better go ahead and not be scared, because you know what everybody says. Everybody does this, and I'm gonna pick on you when you do it. I'm just letting you know now, because I've already been picking on people for this. Everybody does it. Oh, what's your goal weight? Oh, my goal weight is such and such pounds. Okay, why'd you pick that weight? Because that was the last time I remember feeling skinny or cute, and I just I can't imagine myself being smaller than that. Okay, so there's no real medical reason why you don't want to weigh less or weigh like closer to a normal weight range. Oh, I don't think we should be I don't really want to determine my goal based on the BMI. Okay, so you want to be overweight because that's just what you want. Yeah, I can't imagine myself being no smaller. When was the last time you were at that weight? That's your goal, because you remember being that weight and feeling really good about yourself. When was the last time you were that weight? 10, 15, 20 years ago? That don't count. That don't count. It don't count. That weight is not going to sit the way it did 20 years ago. I'm going to need you to let that go. Now, I'm willing to celebrate being back at my high school weight, but I'm telling y'all right now, I looked a lot thinner at my current weight when I was in high school. I looked a lot thinner. I looked about 20 pounds thinner. So this weight is doing something completely different at damn near 30 than it was doing at 16. And I'm okay with that. But it's just like, everybody has the whole, oh, I can't imagine myself being so. Y'all are anti-skinny, and I don't know why. Not that anybody needs to be skinny. Let me check myself. But I'm just saying, as a mind frame, or as a state of mind, y'all are anti-skinny. Y'all are anti unbigged of the back did. Okay, unbigged of the back did. So, with that being said, back to Sydney's point, I will not stop losing weight until there are 0 back fat rolls on my back. I don't give a fuck what the scale says. If I got a single back roll, I will continue losing weight. That is how I feel. That's exactly why I don't do New Year's resolutions. Damn it, either I'm going to do it now or not. So start. I like the concept of New Year's resolutions, because I like the concept of like goals and objectives and giving yourself something to look forward to. But I definitely understand what you're saying, Sunshine. Yes, everyone congratulate Sydney. I won't be in maintenance mode until mid-April. I'm getting closer to BMI 27. So close to a 29 or a 30. It's one of those. It's one of those. But I'm so close to being overweight. We haven't done a clavicle check yet during this live. We have not. And I saw when Jen said clavicle check. Okay, I saw it. But that's because y'all have not been triggering me, right? So a clavicle check is really for when like I feel triggered and I have to like, you know, start announcing who is and is not allowed into my safe space. Okay. This is where I bring myself when I'm triggered. And because I've been working on myself, I haven't been triggered yet. Okay. Clavicle check. Yes. Clavicle check. Real talk. You love it. I'm just saying. Hello, Brandon. Hello. You sound like Skinny Talk. I do, because I don't subscribe to everything they say, but some things just remind me that I have a fat girl brain, right? Like I think like a fat person. So how to not think like a fat person is see how people that aren't fat think. And most of the people on Skinny Talk that I listen to have been fat before. So now they're expressing how they feel and think now. So that's what it is. It's just one of them days. Oh my gosh. I'm just trying to be at a healthy BMI range. I'm at BMI 28.2. Even if our goal weight is a fantasy, I think you should still say it. Why not? Like, what are we afraid of? What are we afraid of? Right? Like let's not be I mean, I'll even encourage a little bit of Delulu. People that have a lot of weight to lose need to keep the weight off, need to keep the weight of loose skin in mind when setting their goal weight. Stop it. Okay, I brought this thing out to show y'all, sidebar. But since you said that, I wanted to show you guys. I got this new cocoa shimmer jelly stick from Vaseline, and that's what I'm wearing on my. I deliberately bought this for the clavicles. Like, let me show y'all. It's not as shimmery as I would like it, but can y'all see that? I literally bought it for this area. Can y'all see in the light? So yeah, that's what I bought. I dig it. I just got it today. I dig it. Okay, so Nicole said, okay, so people that have a lot of weight to lose need to keep their weight of loose skin in mind when setting their goal weight. If your plan is to get surgery, then yes. And Nicole's plan is to get surgery, right? So if your plan is to get skin removal or tummy tuck or anything like that, then you don't have to get as low as other people, because when you remove the skin, that's going to be removing weight as well, right? However, skin is still weight, right? So I would say on any given day, body composition is more important than weight, right? When I emphasize body weight, it's only to make a point about how people think, right? So it's not that the number on the scale is super important, but when people say things like, I just can't imagine, or I just don't like, I don't want to look too skinny, I don't want to look too thin. We should all be happy with wherever we decide to land, right? But I'm trying to provoke thought on the reasoning behind the reasoning behind the things we say. So when people do say, you know, I can't imagine being a certain, it's not that they're saying like, well, I'm at this goal because I'll be getting surgery at this goal, and the rest of the skin that comes off will get me to a lower weight. No, they're just like, oh my God, that just sounds so skinny. And I just can't imagine. Not that anybody should necessarily be aiming for skinny. You know me, I like to put the T on it, right? Skin T. But it's just a point. It's just a thought-provoking point to say, why do you say that about yourself? Like, why do you say you don't want to be too small? What's too small? Why do you say you can't imagine this or you can't imagine that? Like, the point that I'm trying to make is that we still have a little bit of a bias internally against not having visible body fat. Now, if you disagree, y'all feel free to push back. But what I think is going on with us psychologically and internally is that we still have a bias against the idea of not having visible body fat. So if we get to the point where our body fat percentage is so low that we don't have any, like we don't have any visible body fat or any rolls or anything like that, then we've officially become one of them. We've officially become one of the thins, one of the skinnies. And y'all might be in denial about feeling that way, but I feel like a lot of us feel that way. Part of us still want to be able to like not get criticized for losing the weight, right? So if we lose enough weight, but not so much that people are going to call us skinny, then we're good. And I just think that that's BS. Okay. Okay. I am trying to reach Wonderland by January 1st. Let's go, Holly. That's the one thing I'm working on with my therapist about. The difference in how people interact or treat me is significant. We could have a whole show about that, Brandon. I knew this when I hit the 50 pound down mark. Like I started having questions about certain privileges and shit, but it's becoming more like with each 10 pounds that I lose, it becomes more and more obvious. People are fucking nicer. I'm not saying the world is perfect and this is the way that it should be, but this is what I'm noticing. People are nicer. People stare a lot more, right? I think people stare and don't speak. I will say that. People look and don't speak, whatever, but people are nicer. People acknowledge you more. People see you more. I could be walking. Now, some people can say they had these experiences even at their highest weight. I didn't. But when I say I can get out of my car at the gym, it's to the point where it's like a game that I play with myself now, just to see. Whenever I'm walking into a building, but this particularly happens at the gym. Whenever I'm walking, like if I need to get to the door, but the person walking in before me is several steps ahead of me to the point where honestly, it really, like if they didn't hold the door, it wouldn't be rude because I'm so far behind them. People will literally wait. If they see me coming, they will stand there and hold the fucking door. They will stand there and hold it to the point where it's kind of like awkward because now I got to jog a little bit. And it's like, oh, like it's kind of a bit of an awkward silence while I try to make my way to the door because you totally could have just walked in. But it's just like, it's little things, right? It's little things that I'm noticing about people and society where it's like, fat people get treated differently. And I still consider myself to be fat. I'm still 50, 40 now. I'm probably 35, 45, something like that, pounds overweight. Cat. Let me go get the cat, y'all. She done jumped on the counter and she's not supposed to. Hold on. Hey, mama. Don't run now. You caught. So now you got to come say hi to YouTube. You are caught. And now you must come face the music. This is Unicorn. Hi, mama. Do you want to get on your stool? Maybe you can hang out here with me. This is Unicorn. And she jumped on the counter when she was not supposed to. Now she looks like a kitten. She looks small, but she's actually an elderly kitty. She's so tiny. Say hi, Unicorn. Okay. You want to hang out there? She has a cuddle stool right next to me where she can chill out and hang out. All right. But yeah, people definitely start acting different. I haven't had people start being rude with me yet, but the jury is still out on that. I got loose skin and getting comfortable with it. It is what it is. I'm happy with how I look in clothes and how I can move physically. Not so tired. I would agree. Why am I using the regular one on my lips right now? Oh, I bought a pack of 4. So I have 2 of these and I have 2 of the regular ones. I carry one of the regular ones around in my purse too. You have to try the baby oil gel. Jen, please, Jen. I use it every day after my shower, but I forgot it at home when I came on this trip. So luckily, this was already on the way to my destination. Like I ordered it on Amazon. This was already on the way. So the clavicles are popping, but they ain't popping the way they typically pop. And when they typically popping, it's because I'm using the baby oil gel. The brown one in particular. I think there's like a brown one, a green one, or is it just brown and green? But I use the brown one. And yeah, that's typically what I'm using. So when I be super shiny, I be super shiny. I want to look and feel good. Hey, I'm just saying. V, do you think the reactions are based on your new attitude and the way you carry yourself? We've had this conversation a few different times. I don't know. I try to check in with myself to see, right? Because I don't know, Sydney. I don't know. There have been times I've said yes. It's probably because of that. But the reality is, I simply do not know. I don't know. I don't know. Like the whole gym thing has been new because I just recently started going back to the gym. Like when I go to the yoga studio, you have to open the door on your own. There's no tailgating, right? So it's a private yoga studio, so you have to put in a code to go in. So I haven't had that issue. Not issue, but experience. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Skinny privilege, skinny privilege. It's just really bizarre, but yeah, that's society, right? And it's always a topic of conversation amongst close friends and family. Oh, she's very pretty. Oh, I thought she was gonna hang out with me. She didn't. Do you think a person could lose too much weight to the point where they look frail or dried up like a raisin? Yes. MVP. That was not nice. MVP. That was not nice. MVP. That was not nice. Yes, I think there is a such thing as too much weight loss. So I know that I don't always communicate what I'm trying to say like effectively. So it can come off as I'm saying it can come off as if I'm saying skinny is better, the skinnier the better. That is completely not what I'm saying, right? No. I think that health is first, but that's so obvious that I don't feel the need to say it, right? So you should be within I think ideally, right? That nobody's perfect, but ideally we should aim for a healthy weight range and composition. So for example, Serena Williams. Now it's time for a proper clavicle check because Serena is allowed into my safe space. Yes, she is. Okay. Serena is the perfect example of this. She is an athlete, right? So by default, you would automatically assume she's always at the proper body composition. But when you look at her now after her GLP-1 journey versus before, she's definitely at a healthier weight now than she was before. She's definitely at a healthier body composition now than she was before. So it's like, it's not that necessarily skinnier is better. I just think that we fear the word skinny so much that we will trick ourselves into staying fat, even though we lost 80 pounds, 100 pounds, 150 pounds. If you are 150 pounds overweight and you lose 100 pounds and you say, I just don't want to get too skinny, I'm going to say, well, you're not. You know why? Because you're still 50 pounds overweight. Lose the 50 pounds. And if you say, I just don't want to, I'm comfortable, I'd say, okay. But if you say, well, excuse, then I'm going to say, okay, so why are you comfortable with being 50 pounds overweight? Because at the end of the day, everybody can do what they want to do. And I think there's a way to be too thin and have unhealthy, thinness ideology or goals. I think there's a such thing as being too overweight. 50 pounds is too much in my mind, but this is just me. 50 pounds is too much. 30 pounds is too much. In my head, 20 pounds is too much. Now that I'm on this train, I am on it. And I'm not getting off. I'm not getting off 20 pounds before my stop. For what? Okay, I'm judging a little bit, but I'm just saying, like, that's how I feel. Not that anybody else needs to feel that way. And now you have permission to come for me if you want to say vanity shut down. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, great. I mean, we've had this debate amongst a couple of people. So y'all, it's all in love. But I'm not getting off the train 20 pounds before my destination. Me personally. And when people decide to get off 20, 30 pounds before the ideal weight, I just want to know why. I'm just curious. And honestly, when I ask, nobody gives good answers. Everyone says, I just can't imagine, or I don't want to be too skinny. It's like, what is too skinny? What is that? I don't even know what that is. So it is a such thing, but it's like, if you don't have unhealthy ideologies around thinness, if you don't have anorexia nervosa, if you don't have body dysmorphia to the point where like you're 30 pounds underweight, but you feel fat. If that's not you, I think you're fine to let go of that extra 50 pounds or that extra 20. I think you're fine. But if you don't want to, you don't want to. I just don't see why. Cats be all over the counter when everybody is sleeping. They do. But she did tell me, her mommy told me if I see her up there to get her down. So yeah. If you have TikTok, go to Amy and Half. She looks, I try not to say. Sharon Osbourne. Okay. Not a dried up raisin. That was not nice. That was not nice. That is not nice. Even family and friends can treat you differently. I haven't been around family enough for them to notice. I show my dad my old passport photo. He's like, you look the same. My dad he's no help. I look like a swollen Cabbage Patch doll in my passport photo. He's like, looks like you. He's such a parent. He's such a parent. He don't know. He don't know. Sharon didn't need it. That was the problem. Too skinny. Okay. Sharon didn't need it. Still don't understand why she did it. What did she do? She got on a GLP-1. Is that what y'all talking about? Is that what y'all talking about? Okay, so yeah, I agree. There's a such thing as being too thin, but I try not to get into that because it's like I would rather. There are more too fat people, like people that are too fat, than there are people that are too thin, right? And I come from the too fat camp, so that's just what I have more experience with. That's what I prefer to talk about. I don't really talk about people that are too thin because I don't know what that life is like. I can't relate. I don't know what that's like. So because I can speak from an experience of being too big, and now that I'm actually successfully losing the weight, to me, the only thing that makes sense is to go all the way. And is my marker BMI, which is flawed? Yes, it's flawed, but it's not useless. People confuse flawed with useless. So if my BMI, per my BMI, I should be within about 120 to 135, and I end up at 140, which is my goal. Do I think it's the end of the world? No. But if my BMI says I should be, my ideal weight is between 120 and 135, and I'm at 160, do I think that that's a problem? Yes. There's no reason to carry around that extra weight unless you're a bodybuilder. To me, that's how I feel. Or you're carrying a baby. Unless you have a reason, if you're already successfully losing weight, so I'm not talking about medical conditions that keep you from losing weight or disabilities or anything like that. If you're already successfully losing weight, I don't see the point in being 15, 20, 30 pounds overweight unless that's just a preference. If it's a preference, fine. I don't understand it, but it ain't my business. It ain't my life. I'm just being nosy. Sorry, I wasn't trying to be not nice. I'm older, and while my favorite thing to be is skinny, I don't want to look dried up. Being too skinny doesn't look the same at 50 as it does in your 30s. And MVP, that is exactly my point. That is exactly my point. So when people say, oh, I want to be this weight because the last time I was this weight, I remember looking like this, but it was a decade and a half ago. Y'all need to let that go and come up with some new objectives. Now, it's okay to have objectives along the way. I'm in the 170s. I was in the 170s for most of my teenage years. And then eventually I made it down to the 160s as an older teen, like 17, 18, something like that. But even as a preteen, I think I was in the 170s, honestly. So this is a big deal for me. But it's like, if this was my goal, my final goal, it would be like, okay, so you made it to your high school weight because that was the last time you remember being skinty, but you're still 40 pounds overweight. No, I'm not. My back hurts, y'all. I'm not carrying around this extra weight. I'm not doing it. My knees hurt. Does she say how much she weighs? I don't know. I don't know. My dad responded in a manner that truly loving parents respond to and see their children. How was that? Because my dad is very loving, but he's not one to express it through words. He's not gonna say, "Daughter, you look great." He's gonna say, "God, you look like your mom." He's not gonna say, wow, you lost 60 pounds. He's gonna say, you were 240 pounds. And it's not to be mean. It's just, he's one of those old people that's like extremely direct. So it's like, and then he's gonna beat me over the head about walking. Like, oh, you gotta walk, you gotta walk, you got, you know, this man thought he was teaching me what a squat was. He was beating me over the head about walking and then proceeded to demonstrate a squat as if he was teaching me what it was. And I I just gotta sit there and take it. What can I say? What can I do? What can I do? If I say, because I ordered a weight bench, I mean, not a weight bench. I ordered a workout bench. I ordered a set of dumbbells. And all you gotta do is walk 3 miles a day, and that weight will fall off of you. Never mind the fact that I just lost 60 pounds. He didn't. All you gotta do is walk. That weight will fall off of you. And then he proceeds to demonstrate a squat to me. And I'm just like, you're right, Dad. You are so right. You are absolutely right. Got it. Gotta walk, gotta squat. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just let him have it. I just let him have it. Because that man is my inspiration. My dad got into a horrible accident. What year are we in? Maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Wow, it's been a while. He got into a horrible accident, work accident. He used to be a trucker. He got into a horrible accident where his legs were crushed by a beam that was being transported off of a truck. And he did the surgeries, got his legs repaired, and did the physical therapy, and he can walk. That man gets up at 3:30 every morning and drives 35 miles to the gym 5 days a week before the sun comes up. And then he comes home and he has a full day of dealing with the house. Right now, he may not deal with it as much because of the fire. So there's actual professionals dealing with it. But before the fire, he was working all day, putting out new grass, fixing something up in the house, putting something up in the house, going shopping for something for the house. So he was busy after going to the, like, so he has a 70-mile commute 5 days a week for the gym, spends a couple hours at the gym. When we go on vacation together, he's at that gym. If you haven't seen my short before, when I was in Mexico earlier this year, we went to the gym. Like that man works. That man works out. So I'm not about to argue with him about no workout. I'm not about to argue with him. I just, if he can get up and go to the gym 5 days a week, I can get and do that drive. Now it's easier for him because he used to be a trucker. So the 35 miles, it don't necessarily bother him. But as a person that's used to getting to the gym in about 10, 20 minutes, if I'm really far away, 30 minutes, yeah, it's hard to do that 45-minute, 50-minute drive to the gym. It's hard. Y'all are laughing at me. Oh my gosh. If y'all could see our interactions. You know what he's saying when he says it. You agree with him? You're biased. You like to walk, okay? Sounds like you need to hitch a ride. I considered it. The problem with that is I get off of work at 1 a.m. So by the time he's getting up at 3 a.m., he's waking me up out of my sleep because he's making noise moving around. So no, I'm not going to the gym at 3:30 in the morning. But if I worked a different schedule, I would definitely hitch a ride. Besides, all the old ladies, I can't say old, I bet they're younger than him, but he be trying to have girlfriends and stuff at the gym. And I'm just like, don't make me get up at 3:30 and come with you to this gym after I just worked a 10-hour shift and got off at 1 a.m. and I'm only running on an hour and a half sleep. I'm very controlling. Your dad is thankful that he has legs to do that walking. That's my point. So if he can show his gratitude by getting up and making sure he used them legs, then, I feel like I need to be showing some gratitude that I got working legs and all of that. Stop, Jen. Yeah, no, Jen's not gonna stop. Jen been plotting on my downfall for quite some time. All right, so we've been live for almost 2 hours. Why not? Because I've been gone for 2 weeks, so y'all deserve it. All right, so let me wrap up this part real quick, and then in our final hour, y'all know I'm not above a 3-hour live stream. So if you have to rotate in and out or go take care of something, or if you need to go to sleep, the stream will be up for y'all tomorrow. That's why I wanted to start early, because I knew I was gonna go on for a while. So let me wrap up the last bit of this poll, and then we will get into the video that we're reviewing. And if you haven't already, please like or dislike the stream. All right. So we're taking our medication while everyone else is skipping. We're prioritizing our rest and recovery, and we're getting a step closer to our ideal. I'm sorry, I forgot to share it again. Oops, 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 oops. Yes, let's go with that. Okay. We're getting a step closer to our ideal health status. And wow, I got a lot of typos. I was typing fast. We're getting closer to our ideal health status. And oh, I see, because I had put something else in there and then took it out. While everyone else is thinking they still have time to fuck around. So all of my January 1sters, this is your advisement that you don't have time to fuck around. Whatever you've been waiting to do, get it started now. And for pure vanity's sake, we're beating 99% of people to our 2026 summer bodies, gents 2. As the year slows down, it's time to speed up. No getting lazy, no getting comfortable, okay? And that's the end of that. And that's the end of that. It's posted on my community tab, so you can go vote after the stream if you like, Holly. It's still posted up there. It's not going anywhere. So the question was, what's your take? And the first option was way ahead of you, V. Let's do this with 100% so far. I already met all of my goals. Nothing to see here. I need a little more motivation. I'm going to chill. Holidays are break time. Now, most of y'all, not most of y'all, but like the people that voted, all voted for, way ahead of you. Let's do it. I was expecting some people to say I'm a chilled, holidays or break time, but I didn't get none of those yet. So I'm kind of surprised. Okay, kind of surprised. I'm feeling y'all. I'm feeling this energy. I am feeling this energy. Is there an update on how you're liking your personal trainer app? Oh, thank you so much, Sunshine. Yes. Okay, so I try to save the trainer updates. I try to keep them short and just don't put too much effort into the updates unless people ask, because everyone's not interested in the whole personal training thing. So since you asked, now I get to like talk about it a little bit. I got a few minutes. Why not? So it's been great. It's exactly what I needed, because I am not a disciplined gym goer and I'm not a disciplined home workout person. So I am moving into my 3rd week of exercise as of Monday. So tomorrow we'll complete week 2. I have a program of 3 gym days and 2 at-home workout days. The at-home workout days are full body days, and my gym days are broken down into push, pull, and the 3rd day is abs and lower body. So the first week was atrocious, because not that my workout was too hard. I was just, even when I was working out, I wasn't pushing myself as hard as this workout pushed me, right? I have a habit of lifting lighter weight than I'm capable of, doing less reps and sets than I'm capable of. Well, when he put my first week of workouts together, he came out swinging. 4 sets of everything that I was doing, reps of 10 to 12. I'm more of like a 2 sets of 8 kind of girly. 10 if you're nasty. I'm more of like a 2 sets of like 10 pounds less than what I could really be lifting, 20 pounds less than what I could really be lifting. So let's say if I can really lift 25, I'm gonna lift like 15, or if I can lift 20, I'm gonna lift like 10 pounds. No, he came out swinging with 4 sets of everything. 4 sets of everything. So the first week that that's for muscle growth. So the first week that I went to the gym, I was going to the gym. I didn't want to go, but I went, and it was hard because I was working out. I was pushing through sore muscles, and that's the quickest way to get through delayed onset muscle soreness, is to keep working, right? You would think ideally the best way to get through it is to just sit still and, just let your muscles recover. No, they get tight, they hurt, they get stiff. the best thing to do is to keep moving, to keep lifting, to do all that until the recovery fully passes. So with a combination of more protein, making sure that I was taking my supplements, so my branched chain aminos and my creatine, I finally got through the hump, right? I finally got through that severe soreness after the first week. By the time I went back this past week, I felt like a new person. And when I say a new person, I mean like it felt like all of the weight that I had been lifting the week before was too light, which means I got more strength and maybe even some muscle growth just within a matter of a week and a half. So where I was lifting 50, I'm up, I think 5 to 10 pounds in my weight across the board, like whatever workout I'm doing. So it's been great. We talk daily on workout days. So Sundays I don't work out. So, but we still talk on Sundays because he's telling me that the new workouts we talk every day, honestly. And I can't say that every trainer on this app would be that way, but we message every day. So what's been happening is he'll upload my workouts to the app. I get to preview them for the week. I go to the gym. I do the workout. If he needs to see my form, I just take a video of the work of me doing the particular movement and I send it to him. And then he gives me feedback. He also gives me feedback based on if I don't I'm giving him feedback based on like, I don't like this workout, or this weight was too heavy, I had to drop the weight. This weight was too light, I had to increase the weight. I didn't have the proper range of motion for this particular exercise, or I need more mobility on these days. And we're in constant communication regarding that. So we talked on the phone one time on FaceTime. Since then, and that was 2 weeks ago when I first started. Since then, we don't talk on the phone because he sends me a message and I respond. That's it. Like he sends me a message, I respond to it, and I'll move on to the next workout. So it's been great. Like I said, I think it's good for people that already know how to work out, but still need guidance on how to get the result that they're trying to get, right? So although I know how to do certain movements, I don't really know how to build muscle. Not really, right? Not effectively. And when I try to do it, I feel like it takes a lot longer because I do less reps and lighter weights. Well, with having someone that's constantly reviewing how heavy I'm lifting, like I could lie, but I don't, So if I can't finish the reps, then I say that I couldn't finish the reps, but because I don't want to have to say it, I finish the reps. Right? Now I will drop weight if I have to. I will drop the weight. But when it comes to like, if this says 12 reps and I have to go through this circuit 4 times, I'm going to do the reps and I'm going to go through the circuit 4 times. I'm going to be out of breath. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be sore, but I'm going to be snatched by the end of it. If you haven't been seeing my community post updates, y'all can let me know. Am I blowing up y'all notifications? Because if so, I'll make sure to post less. But I've been trying to post regularly after the gym because in the app, I get to take a picture. I get to take a picture at the end of my workout. And so I decided to just start posting those pictures on my community wall. So if you haven't been seeing them, like for example, let me cover his name. So this is, for example, now the reason it has the squiggly line across is because that's my heart rate throughout the workout. Those are my heart rate statistics. And then here is another one. That's my heart rate throughout the workout. So I've been trying to post so that y'all can see the progression over time for those that are interested. I've been trying to post my my pictures just regularly. Sidebar. I was dressed like this, right? Do you know my dad laughed at me and asked me if I was doing a TikTok? I was done with my workout because I had on all pink. And he laughed at me. He's like, "You doing a TikTok? You're so old." Like, why does me wearing all pink mean I'm doing a TikTok? Stay off of the apps, father. Stay off of TikTok. He likes TikTok shop. I don't know why. He's 69. What does he need TikTok shop for? I don't know. Or he's 68. I don't know. But yeah, it's funny. But thank you, Nicole. Yes, I know you were like kind of like, I don't like that when I first started talking about the trainer, but it's honestly been good for me. What app are you using? Do you mind sharing? I need to increase my muscle mass, lost some muscle mass over the past 6 months. Yes. Okay. So sounds like it's worth it then. Might check it out. Okay, no problem. I'm gonna share my guest pass. If anybody is interested in a free month of the Future app, that's the app that I use. If you're interested in a free month, I'm going to share my guest pass on the community tab. I've shared it before, but I'll share it again. And you can use my guest pass in order to get a free month. If you don't like the service, then you can just cancel before the month is up. Simple. And if you like it, you keep it. And as of right now, I think it's $199 per month. But with that $199, you get a one-on-one trainer that creates a workout regimen tailored to your specific needs. So I have a particular need for increased mobility in order to get through my weight training. So we've incorporated the two. I'm not going to lie. This guy's a little too thorough, and I'm just learning to appreciate it and accept it. You know, when you're used to being let me not put myself down, right? I don't want to say used to being a slacker, and the reality is I'm just used to being a slacker in the gym. Okay. When you're used to being a slacker in the gym, and then you start keeping yourself accountable, but really because somebody's watching, you start to get annoyed when they're watching a bit too effectively, right? So like, I have these adjustable dumbbells. I'll say this and then we'll move on to the review of the video. But thank you so much for the question, Deanna. I have these adjustable dumbbells, right? If you've ever seen them before. And they're a bit longer than traditional dumbbells, right? So they can be a little awkward to use sometimes. So he had me doing a particular exercise from home, and I felt like my range of motion was a little thrown off by the length of the dumbbells. So I didn't do the movement. In the app, it gives you the opportunity, or the option to substitute a workout. So if you're missing a piece of equipment, or you just don't like the movement, or you can't do it, you get to substitute it with a different preloaded alternate, right? So I subbed in a workout and I sent him a message like, hey, I subbed this exercise because the dumbbells that I have are a little long and it was a little awkward trying to do that range of motion. So I subbed for this particular exercise. I thought this man was just going to say, okay, no problem, cool. He asked me for the brand of the dumbbell so he could take a look. That's not a big deal. It's really not. But I was like, you got time in my mind. In my mind, I'm like, you got time for that? Like, he was like, what's the name of those dumbbells so I could take a look? And not on some like he didn't believe me stuff. He just wanted to be better prepared for preparing future workouts, right? Like, so this is what I have. I need to know what she's working with. Or I need to see what she's talking about. But it was like, you got time for that? I don't know. I be getting irritated at the dumbest stuff, like super dumb, but he's thorough. He's cool. I like it. Let me not lie and say it's been fun. It has not been fun. Getting dressed has been fun. Being cute at the gym has been fun. But keeping a schedule, staying committed and keeping my word to myself has not been fun. But because that's the type of person I want to be, moving into the new year, I may as well start now. So that is my update on the personal training. When the layoff happened at work, I got kind of scared and was like, maybe I should start like cutting back on some things, which I am and I will. And I had to make a decision about the training, and I decided to keep it because this is important to me. I'm starting to, yes, I've lost the weight, but I'm starting to kind of like not like the way certain parts of my body looks. My butt is like damn near hitting the back of my knees. I'm not seeing definition in places I want to see it. I'm getting more and more loose skin in the thigh area, which really can't be fixed with the gym. But if I'm going to have loose skin, I'm damn sure going to have some muscle to go along with it, is how I feel. So I decided to keep the investment. It's $200 a month. It's not cheap. It's not the most expensive training that I've had, but it's also not cheap. So I decided to keep it for now. And of course, if things change with work, then I may have to reevaluate later. But it's been nice, and I can't wait for y'all to see the snatchedness and the gains along the way. All right. So we are across the 2-hour mark. So let's get into a little bit of this Jubilee video. And if it gets a little too long, then we will break it up into separate live streams. Okay. If you haven't already, please like the stream. Did y'all see my post about wearing jeans to get a pedicure? I gotta relearn when to wear jeans. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now, in all fairness, I had on a dress underneath, right? I had this dress on, but I was gonna wear this dress to get a pedicure because it was hot today. But I didn't. I knew as soon as I sat down, it was gonna be a struggle, right? Like it was gonna be. I didn't have any shorts to put under, so it was gonna be a struggle. So I just decided to wear the dress as like a, you know, a strapless top, and then put some jeans over it. But then I couldn't roll up my pants during my pedicure. So I got to like relearn when it's appropriate to wear jeans. Anyway, let's get into this video. Fit versus fat. This should be interesting. Okay. Trigger warning. No trigger warning, right? Like we don't get triggered over here, do we, guys? We don't get triggered over here. Okay, so this is Jubilee. They're gonna have a debate about being fit versus fat and what health means, right? So let's get into a little bit of this. Let me get a sound check as well. Let me know if eating healthy is more expensive. Therefore, your physique is not within your control. Because in order to be able to control your appearance or your weight, you'd have to be able to control your food. But if you don't have the financial means to eat better, then you're SOL. Okay. Healthy foods do cost more. Okay. They don't have enough variety in ages on that panel to answer that question. Okay, that's an interesting observation. I hadn't even considered that. Some more older people. In fact, they don't even have enough variety in sex because there's no men. There's no men on the panel. But let's just take it for what it is, right? Versus what they could be doing. Some of this is to get people to click on it, right? So let's kind of work with what they gave us. Because of course you can pick a better pool of people to ask the question to. I would agree. Hell, all food isn't expensive at this point. I think you meant is. And that's more where I land, Jen, or you can let me know if that's what you meant. I more so land at all food is expensive at this point. I don't have the best of diets. And even I be at the grocery store like, what the fuck? Like, y'all know how I eat. Bacon, eggs, chicken. Starting to eat a little tiny bit of steak, which is super expensive. Some gluten-free varieties of processed foods. You know, I don't have the best diet, right? Like I'm not buying like 90% produce or anything like that. But it would definitely cost more, but I think all food is just high at this point. How much is a frozen dinner? $5, $6? More like 9 or 10, Jen, at this point. Like I don't even buy frozen gluten-free pizza anymore because DiGiorno wants like $13 for a pizza. And it's not even only just like, don't let it be gluten-free. If you want a different brand, it's like $14, $15 a pizza. So I just don't eat it. But I don't really shop in the frozen food section. I just discovered sticky rice that comes frozen. So I can get with that a little bit, but I don't really shop in the frozen food section. But yeah, accessibility to healthier foods is an issue for many people. Yes, MVP. We had this conversation around, I can't remember how we got on this topic, but we were talking about like food stamps and food deserts and availability. Oh, we were talking about finances or economic status and social class being linked to obesity, right? We had a I wouldn't say a debate, but we had a conversation about that. And I was on the end of the debate or conversation that your economic situation is more closely tied to obesity or not being obese, right? The statistics say that there's a correlation between economic class and obesity. But it's not a direct causation. It's more of like a close relation. But yes, accessibility to healthier foods is an issue for many people. I would agree. But that isn't the question. That isn't the question, right? The question is your physique within your control? And I'm gonna have to say yes, but we'll let them continue to debate. I'm gonna have to say yes, despite your accessibility to healthier foods, right? I think education would be even more important, right? If you can't control necessarily, like if you can control one before the other, I would say controlling the education around food and food choices would be more important than controlling the economics around it, even though the economics is important, because even if you make more money, you could still make horrible food decisions, right? So for example, the way that I eat has a lot to do with how I grew up. So even though I make much more money, I don't go to the store and buy, 50% produce or anything like that, right? Like it has nothing to do with the fact that I can't afford it. The things that I have been taught about food versus what I've learned, I make decisions based off of, what I've learned and also how I've grown up. Another example is like when I first became an adult and started, making my own money, and living on my own, there were certain things that I simply didn't do anymore that I didn't even realize that I didn't do anymore, right? Like there were certain meals, like a Kraft macaroni and cheese. Even as an adult, I wouldn't go buy it and make it, but I still have a little nostalgia behind it. So I can't say that if like one of my nieces or nephews was eating it, that I wouldn't pick at it a little bit. But like a Kraft macaroni and cheese, right? Something I grew up eating. I stopped eating that when I started making more money, and it didn't even register, right? So I think, I don't know, the money definitely matters, right? When you only have access to crappy foods, then you have access to crappy foods. But amongst the crap, can better decisions be made if people knew better? Yes. So like, just because you have easy access to soda, does that mean you have to drink the soda? No. I think it's unfair to put the soda in schools and in front of kids. I don't even know if schools still do that. But like when I was growing up, that was something that we had easy access to. And then it's a matter of your, if you're a kid, it's a matter of your parents being educated and things like that. So if you don't have, if you ain't working with a lot of money, or let's say you're working with public assistance and you're working with an area where, you go to the grocery store, but you kind of got to make money stretch. So you have to buy cheaper foods. A little bit of education can go a long way as far as like which foods to choose, right? So that's wow. Okay. What do we think about that exchange? Do y'all need to hear it again? If I need to rewind so y'all can get the full context, let me know. What do y'all think about that exchange? Y'all want a little bit of a story time? Because I've been there. I've been super broke, but I was a teenager. So, like I wasn't even out of high school yet. Or, well, was I in high school? I don't think I was out of high school yet. But like, listen, I've been in a place like where my only meal was like potatoes, like getting a bag of potatoes, which is super expensive now, but like, let's say it was like $2-3 15 years ago, getting a bag of potatoes, cutting them up for a meal, frying them, and that being my meal for like a week straight. Like I've been there. So I'm gonna have to lean more toward like if I only have $5-10, I didn't go buy frozen meals. I went and bought, like, you know what I mean? Like, now that I have a little more, now that I'm an adult, right? If I was down to my last $10, I can do better than a bag of potatoes. Like, I can do better than that. But that was my choice at the time. Some people may choose a bag of rice if they got several people to feed. Some people may choose a loaf of bread with some deli meat or peanut butter and jelly. Or what are some, can y'all drop some like budget? Like if you had 50, I'm gonna give you, okay, not in 2025. Wait, when was this video? Hold on. When was this? A year ago. Okay. You have $20. 20. No, I don't want to make it. You got $20. How do you make $20 last for a week if you're at the grocery store in 2024? If we can remember what it was like grocery shopping, it wasn't that much different. It's, other than prices going up. But if you had $20, $20, not 25, so you got to include tax. If you had $20, and maybe let's not say a week, let's say maybe 4 days, right? Let's say you just needed to push it to the next paycheck, right? So how can you make $20 stretch for about 4 or 5 days? Eating out is out the picture, right? I don't even think a dollar menu, maybe a dollar menu would work, but let's exclude the fast food. Grocery store, how do you make $20 work if it's just you or you and one other person? One other person might make it even harder. I'm picking spaghetti. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm picking spaghetti. I didn't cook spaghetti at that time. That's why I didn't pick that at that time. But I'm picking spaghetti. I'll eat spaghetti for 3 or 4 days straight. I'll do it. In this day and age, the ground turkey is cheaper than the beef. So, okay. So as the option for weight loss meds become more varied and affordable, I've been wondering if in the future we will no longer see high levels of obesity that we see now. That's what I'm hoping for, but we still need some serious re-education. I think frozen meal girl is an excuse maker. I agree. That's what I'm seeing. Ramen. Yes, I've had the ramen days. As someone that goes to the supermarket almost every day, it's impossible to make dinner for $10 to $12. It is. I didn't get big because of money or food quality. I got big because I ate too much. I talked about that earlier, sweet tea. I think we just eat too much. Seriously. $20 might be unrealistic for a week. Well, that's the thing, right? So Frozen Food Girl is saying, well, you have to think about people that have no money. So she can't literally mean $0. So I'm giving them some money, but an amount that's really, really hard to work with. So that's the point. That's the point of the challenge. So you have $20 and you need to make it through 4 days of eating. You can do it with $20, but it's not going to be the healthiest of options. I don't think frozen food is on the table for 4 days though. Like I said, I would pick like something that can be reheated over and over again, right? So I think for $20, I can get ground turkey, a box of pasta, and a couple of jars. Well, now, damn, fucking marinara sauce, $6, $7. Well, if I go to Aldi, it's cheaper. But let's say I think I can get marinara sauce, pasta, and so spaghetti noodles or whatever pasta of your choice, and ground turkey. I think I can get all of that for $20 and make it last. Like if it's just me, make it last for 4 days. Now, if I wanted to do something healthier, I could skip the pasta and maybe double up on the ground turkey and maybe get a bag of salad, or not a bag of salad, a head of lettuce. Or if we're not feeling the meatballs for 4 days, I would say a head of lettuce, ground turkey. Let's keep the ground turkey because you can make like lettuce tacos or ground turkey boats. I forget what you call them, where you put the meat inside the lettuce and you make like a little taco. Maybe some cheese. So you got protein, you have fiber, maybe some tomato. You can get eggs. Now you got 2 meals. You can definitely make a carton of eggs last for 4 days. So now you have, so if you got eggs, cheese, lettuce, and ground turkey for $20, that could last for 4 days for one person. I think that was reasonable. When I cook, I make enough for leftovers in the fridge and freeze for a later date. Sweet Tea, you live in California, don't you? Here, eggs range from $2 to $12. Well, $3 to $12. Two and some change to $12. Sometimes I don't even buy a full dozen because I end up like leaving them behind at houses. So I'll get half a dozen for like $1 or something. So even if you didn't want to get a full dozen, you could still get 6 eggs. Eggs aren't, I don't know about California. California's a little weird. The West Coast is a little weird. I would really like to say that store brand eggs are not $12. I don't know if like here on the East Coast, right? If I go to Publix, Publix has their store brand of eggs, and then there's a variety of brands of eggs. So they're going to range from store brand, or think Walmart Great Value. They're going to range from like $3 for a dozen up to 12. So here on the East Coast, you don't have Southeast, you don't have to buy the $12 eggs. In fact, I wait until the $12 eggs are about $4 or $5 if I really want those organic pasture raised eggs, because I love them. The eggs, the yolks are so rich. I love those eggs. But yeah, we have a range. It might be different on the West Coast. Maybe a pack of chicken thighs and a bag of rice and a head of lettuce. I would agree. That would work. And I would not consider that unhealthy. I actually had to do that recently. I had I carry rice with me to every house sit, but I don't always cook it. But I had to switch. I didn't have to, but y'all put me on to the fact that chicken legs were cheaper than wings. I always buy wings. I don't know. I don't buy other cuts of chicken, maybe a chicken breast. So I just thought all chicken was expensive, and you're like, chicken wings are more expensive than legs. So I bought legs, and it worked. But like if I was strapped, then it would easily work. But because I was making a choice, it was like I just want to spend less money on my groceries this week. I got a lot more chicken for about around the same amount of money. I got more chicken, but man, them legs were doofy. I like small chicken wings. Those legs were ginormous. Like they were big. Oh my God. I could buy 4 days of nutritious food with $20. Okay. I will buy a whole chicken, veggies, and fruit for $20 that will last 4 days. Okay. All right. Bag of dried beans, bag of brown rice, frozen mixed veggies, Costco baked chicken, and canned tuna. I could work with that. We are logical people. Of course we could figure it out. Okay. I just wanted to see, because Frozen Food Lady said you have to think of people with no money. If you have no money, you're not going to the grocery store. You're starving. So she needs to be like a bit more clear about what she means. So let's give the person $20 and they got to make it work. If you got $20, I don't think frozen pizza is the option, unless maybe the store is having a sale where you can get 5 pizzas for $5. I've seen stuff like that. I think you can do better, because that pizza is just going to make you more hungry. So I think you can do better, right? Because you could buy a bunch of cheap breakfast cereal for $20 too, but it's gonna make you more hungry. So it's also about getting foods that are gonna kind of like milk. We didn't even include milk. Milk is expensive, but I'd even throw some milk in there. If we can get store brand milk, I would even throw some milk in there. Can both be true? For some, their weight physique is within their control, and for others, it isn't in their control due to various factors. Yes. So are y'all familiar with But I think we're speaking in general, right? Like I think we fall into the trap of making the exceptions the rule. Like the lady that was like, oh, but my family members, they have thyroid this and thyroid that, yet she feels that she's in control of her situation, right? So we acknowledge the exceptions, but we don't make them the rule. For example, like Cushing's or Hashimoto's. These are hormonal conditions where you have no say. You have no say. You have no say. You need whatever therapies are available to get that under control. Because if it's up to your body, you're screwed. Okay. Everything is outside of your control. If you got Cushing's, everything is outside of your control. The only thing within your control is to get help. Right. So, yes, the exceptions do exist. But I think the more genuine way to have the conversation is to speak in general about the average person. Lettuce wraps, yes. Rotisserie chicken, lettuce, shredded cheese dressing. Yes, I would agree. I would agree. I just never seen a frozen dinner for $2. That's because you live in Boston. In the South, I have seen sales where pizza's $1. It's rare though. These days, even they want to charge an arm and a leg for frozen pizza, and the calories and the sodium ain't even worth it. So it's more like a treat if you have it. So I just stay away. I just stay away from the frozen food for I would say 99% of the year. I don't even get anything but ice cream out of the frozen section, and even that I do like once or twice a year. Or frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables. Okay, so did they bring that up? Frozen vegetables? Because we were talking about, fresh lettuce, and I even think the fresh lettuce head was a good idea. Making some lettuce wraps or something like that. But you can get frozen mixed vegetables for probably, if you go to a store brand, maybe $3, $3 to $5. But I don't know if I would. I don't know. I'm not even a vegetable eater, and I think I might still prefer the head of lettuce. I think I might still leave us a comment. Or if you've been here a million times before and you're just cloud watching, drop down and say hi, because I haven't been here in 2 weeks. Show me a little love. I buy frozen vegetables all the time. Okay. Quantity wise, like amount. Like, if we're making $20 stretch, would you prefer not what you would prefer, but what would make more sense for the budget? If you're putting meals together for 3-4 days, would the frozen make more sense, or would the head of no, a bag of spinach would be expensive. A head of lettuce, the head of lettuce. Let's go with the head of lettuce. Would the frozen make more sense than the head of lettuce? Groceries are more expensive in New York, England, New England than the Midwest and the South. Jen is paying top dollar for groceries except cranberries. Only I see $2 for a head of lettuce. That's why I said a head of lettuce. I don't buy a head of lettuce, but I'm hoping a head of lettuce is like less than $3. I'm hoping because you never know these days. And I shop at more expensive grocery stores for my area, right? So it's not Northeast or West Coast expensive, but like I like to go to Publix, Harris Teeter. I'm not really a Whole Foods kind of girly. I go into Whole Foods and I just don't get it. I don't understand the pricing. I don't understand the quantities for the pricing. I'm not a Whole Foods kind of girl. Trader Joe's, if you're nasty, maybe. But Aldi, if I'm really trying to rein in the spending, not really a fan of like Walmart meats and dairy and produce, but maybe I could get some packaged foods from Walmart. I just don't like going into the store, so no. Yeah, I'm more of a Publix person. Publix is my first choice, and it's not cheap either. So, frozen. Okay, the frozen would make more sense. Okay, all right, cool.
Time.
Yeah, so
But yeah, she's gonna be a fan. This might sound offensive, but let's get to it. Let's get to it. I see why she's big. And there's several big people here, and some of us are still working on our big backs. So I'm not talking down about her, but based on her mindset, just from what she's expressing, right? Hold on. Sorry, it sounds like the cat has a hairball. So I want to make sure she's okay. And I'm gonna give her her food, her dinner in about an hour. So let me set a timer. Yeah, Trader Joe's is much more reasonable. I would agree. Hey Kim, isn't the fact that we're on a GLP-1 an argument for it not being totally within our control? These meds are giving us control we struggled to have before. Hold on. I need to set an alarm real quick. Okay. Okay. It's giving lazy, sis. Yes, Kim K, I was always in control until postmenopause. Okay, so Kim says, is it the fact that we're on a GLP-1 an argument for it not being totally within our control? Yes, but the caveat is totally, right? So, okay. How I feel about this is that when it comes to obesity, right? It's part choice, it's part physiology, right? So partially something's going wrong in the brain and the body, and the other part is our actual choices and habits, right? So it's a combination of things. When we get on a GLP-1, what we fix is the physiological part, right? Like we fix that whatever mechanism, whatever hormonal mechanism is going awry, we're fixing that with the GLP-1. So to some extent, does that mean that part of this is outside of our control? Yes and no. The reason I say no is because there's plenty of people that do it without a GLP-1. In fact, some of us have done it without a GLP-1. And because we didn't maintain the habits and the changes, we didn't maintain the progress. Or our age changed, right? Postmenopause. And like when I said Hashimoto's and Cushing's, these are hormonal issues. So is being postmenopause. So when our body goes through hormonal changes, that's another thing that's outside of our control. So the only thing that we can control is the decisions that we make. So is it an argument for it not totally being within our control? Yes, but like we would have to account for the people that get it done without the GLP-1. And it's not because it's easier for them or because they got more discipline or no, it's just that you know how some people say like being on a GLP-1 is cheating? I don't think it is. I just don't believe harder is better. Losing weight on a GLP-1 has been easier than losing weight in the past. It has. But it's not the GLP-1, it doesn't cause the weight loss, right? The GLP-1 sets you up to be able to do the things that's going to cause the weight loss, like eat less, like stay full longer, like get full sooner. So I don't know. I would say that totally, no, is it totally within our control? No. But do we have some control? To say we have no control would also not be true. Say we have no control. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. In my young adulthood, I was totally in control, even when poor. And as I got older, things changed. My sister, 10 pounds at birth, her obesity was never under her control. Wow. Exactly, Kim. We are not all lazy. We have tried to lose weight. Food noise telling us to eat constantly. And Jan Lithium, I don't know what you meant by that. To feel full is real. Oh, inability. I'm like, what? Jan Lithium. Okay. So let's talk about this and then we'll continue. Okay. Is everybody lazy? No. This is why I said when we hear eat less, move more, it's very triggering. But I have realized recently, for me, I'm not even going to put this on nobody else. I have realized recently that there is a such thing as eating too much, right? Which is something that I would not have argued before. And I realized this about myself, not about other people, even though I do feel this about other people. I do think it's something that we don't acknowledge as far as eating too much. And we start to lean into hormonal disorders that are the exceptions, right? So, and I will eat, unless, right, we're going to say insulin resistance, insulin being a hormone, is a hormonal disorder. So we're all hormonally just dysfunctional. We didn't eat ourselves to this point. The food didn't matter, right? That would be ridiculous, I would think. I think that would be ridiculous. It's not about everybody being lazy. It's about a lot of people being lazy. And not that if they just get up and worked out more, they would be skinny. No, but listen to her. I feel like, and that doesn't make me right, but I feel like she's making excuses. I feel like she's making excuses. Like I don't feel like she's making a good enough argument. In fact, I think y'all are making a better argument in the chat than she is. So, not that it's necessarily about her, but we're reacting to the video. So, I don't know. I think that when we go to the end of the spectrum and say that like everybody's not this or everybody's not that, it's like nobody's saying that. Like nobody's saying that everybody's lazy or everybody's just eating themselves to obesity or that some people don't have hormonal disorders. Technically, everybody that has insulin resistance is in a constant state of hormonal dysfunction until you get on a GLP-1 and you get that sugar and that insulin under control or whatever other means you do. But like I said, then we would have to account for the people that get it done without a GLP-1. And there's plenty of them. I don't think that they get some sort of prize for doing it the quote unquote natural way. Like people say, oh, I lost 100 pounds naturally. I lost 50. It don't matter how you lost the weight or bariatric surgery. I don't think that the method of weight loss makes you better than somebody else or means you have more self-control or means that it was easier for you. I don't think that at all. But when we act like we don't have some sort of control over our decision making, even though our bodies are working against us. Yes, our bodies are working against us. When we act like we don't have some control over our decision making, I think the conversation becomes disingenuous, and that's what she's doing, right? So now, oh, people ain't got no money. Oh, it's a privilege to be able to cook. Oh, I cook, but it's so hard. Yeah, that's all true, but it's not just true for you, right? Like, as a person that has the help of a GLP-1, I still think it's hard to cook. I still think it's hard to cook. I still think it's, difficult to do that. But I don't know. I feel like she's making excuses, but y'all can let me know. Frozen would be the best to stretch. Okay. Frozen mixed veggies. Okay. Those people don't have the same issues. What do you mean? Which people and which issues? Let me know. All right, so let's continue.
It's easier for me to just like go through the drive-through. And then also privilege when it comes to like your mental.
So we're going to let that slide. MVP, no, MVP, we're going to let that slide, MVP. Let's go back for full context. And I'm not even saying that you're like siding with her, but since you're giving the most pushback, which is excellent. Not even pushback. I don't even think it's pushback, but I'm going to pick on you because you're talking. Like you're the most engaging about this topic. So are we going to let that slide? Because I disagree. As a person that made the same excuses, I disagree with her. So let's go back for full context because she's getting into how cooking is so hard and it's just easier to go through the drive-through. This is why I said I see why she's big, because I am her. Or I've been her. I ain't trying to be her no more. Like I said, you got to stop thinking like a fat person. You got to stop thinking like a lazy person. Let's get into it. Let's go back a little bit. It's
also privilege when it comes to like having
privilege. There's privilege, okay? When it comes to having time to cook. Let's go. I would like for you guys to give your input before I give mine. Shout out to Annalacey. Did I say that right? Annalacey. Hi, so funny. I was just watching one of your old live streams and saw you were live right now. Thank you for falling out of the clouds. Thank you so much for commenting. Welcome to the chaos. And shout out to Replay Gang. People be wondering if people actually go back and watch my live streams because they're so long. I'm like, yeah, some people do. So I'm glad you found us live. Thank you so much. Okay. Help me out, guys, because I don't want to be unfair. Help me out. Okay? Help me out. Is she saying she doesn't have time to cook because she's in bed? Okay. Rotisserie chicken, lettuce, shredded mozzarella dressing, 2 bags of frozen veggies, and eggs. 1980. Thank you for doing the research, Nicole. Nicole is in Ohio. So I would think it's a little more pricey, depending on how close you are to the city, like a major city. It's probably a bit more pricey than North Carolina, Raleigh, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of given what we would pay, but maybe it's a little bit more pricey. I don't know. But thank you for doing that, because I think I think you can make that last a week or 4 days. Let's say 4 days. Rotisserie chicken, you can break the chicken into 4 quarters, which is 4 meals. Lettuce, shredded mozzarella, dressing. I think you can make a head of lettuce and a bag of mozzarella last for 4 meals. Let's say you were meal prepping it. 2 frozen bags of veggies and eggs. Eggs easily, that's you can do that 4 days, even if you wanted to have 3 eggs a day. So I would agree. I like that. I like that. I think she's making a lot of excuses. That girl just ain't ready to try. I've been there. I'm her. This is what I'm saying. This is why I get to pick on her. Overall, food prices are good in Ohio. Okay. Hell, that might even be a little cheaper. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I didn't want to be delusional, but that might even be a little cheaper than where I'm at in Raleigh. Okay. Hello, Trina. Thank you so much for falling out of the clouds. Hello, this is my first time. I heard that she was dealing with depression, and in those times a person isn't thinking clearly. I am going to address that. I just wanted to know what you guys think first. So thank you for pointing that out. And I am going to answer your question, Sydney. I just didn't clarify what I got from what she meant, because I want to see what y'all are thinking first. I think she is moving away from the true topic and touching on her personal struggles. Sounds like therapy and a GLP-1 could help. Okay. She is making excuses, not a good representative. Thank you, MVP. Okay. Because I was about to put you in a category with her, like, that's MVP people right there. Now let me stop. Okay. So is she saying she doesn't have time to cook because she's in bed? No, she's saying a few things. Okay. So let me work backwards. The last thing that she said was depression. When you're going through an episode of depression, it can be very hard to get out of bed and you really don't want to do anything. I talk about this on a regular basis and I use myself as an example. Okay. So I know what she's talking about. I know where she's coming from. The other thing that she said is that some people have no money, so they can't afford to buy certain foods, so they lean toward frozen foods. And then with the cooking, busy lifestyle, so being a parent and working, it's a privilege to have time to cook. Sometimes going through the drive-through is just faster and easier. Also, it's a privilege to have stable mental health to the point where you want to get out of bed and cook. And she also said it annoys her when people say that she should just work out because she can't even get out of bed, either because she's too tired from working and being a parent or from the depression. Okay. Are we all caught up? Sweet Tea, I'm sick of you. I need you to move out of California. Because let me tell y'all something. Sweet Tea says in California you can get eggs, bacon, and 1 Greek yogurt for $19.80. Sweet Tea, I'm not even going to stunt. It be like that. It be like that over here. Now you can get a bit more because honestly, over here bacon is $10. Like, I won't even buy bacon until the store brand is on sale or one of the major brands is buy one get one. Period. So store brand bacon is $6 and some change. So $7. And Smithfield, Oscar Mayer, all of those are $10, $11, $12 where I'm at on the East Coast, even in the South. So I won't buy it until the store brand drops to like around $5 or lower, or the major brands are buy one, get one. So they're about $5 a piece. But it's very rare that I pay less than $5 for some bacon. So I'll feel you on that, because if the bacon's $10, $11, and the eggs is about $6, $7, and the Greek yogurt, no, I can't even say that. Let's say the bacon is $11 and the eggs are $3. Let's say you find the cheap eggs. That Greek yogurt gonna be like $6, $7. That's $20. Sweet Tea, I get you. I feel you on that. I feel you on that. All right. You are a unicorn. You are a unicorn. California is a little weird, but it be like that over here sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. So I just kind of gotta shop smarter, right? Like I gotta shop smarter to make the money go a little faster. I mean, a little like stretch a little further. Hello, girl dad. Hi, hope you're having a great weekend. I am having a great weekend. Yes, it is good to be back. Shout out to you. I don't think I've ever seen you here this late. Shout out to you and that fried fish you was cooking recently. Yes, I be watching. And I got my boyfriend watching too. I got him watching too. But shout out to you, girl dad. That's why bacon wasn't on the list. Right. I would say take the bacon off. Take the bacon off. Take the bacon off. Okay. Okay, so back to the point of what she's saying. Okay. I feel like she's making excuses, even though what she's saying can be true, right? When you are in a depressive episode, some is more severe than others. So I don't want to be insensitive and be like, it don't matter, just get up. All I can say is when we're talking about what's within our control, right? When I went through like my first ever time experiencing depression, I didn't know what I was going through. So I did eat out. I did gain weight. I did sleep in. I didn't work out. I didn't shower all the time, but I didn't know what I was going through. Once I found out what I was going through, for me, I had a choice to make. Once I knew what was happening, I had a choice to make. I either seek out remedies to manage, medication to manage, or just accept it for what it is. For me personally, I made a choice to manage based on lifestyle changes. Exercise, fresh air, sunlight, taking care of your hygiene, putting on clothes, meditating. Did I say exercise already? Exercise, even down to moisturizing your skin. That was my choice. Now, I wanted to just medicate to make it go away faster, but I chose lifestyle changes, and that helped me manage. So when she says having like mental health is a privilege, I think we overuse the term privilege to excuse why certain people don't do things for themselves or don't have access to certain things. Like we overuse privilege, right? I don't know if the fact that a person has never gone through a depressive episode, if that makes them privileged. And then using that kind of as a weapon. So because I don't have that privilege, I can't do things the way that you would do them. Or I can't make different decisions because I don't have that privilege. I don't know. I know depression can be very, very scary. It can be very, very dark. It can be very, very lonely. It can be very, very difficult to pull yourself out of. But to that, I would just say, get help, right? Ask for help. Ask for help. And everybody's help is going to be different, but I would say ask for help. Ask for help. It could be a reason why somebody doesn't want to get up and cook and all of that, but I don't think it's the end all be all. You know what I mean? Because you got up and made it to Jubilee. You got up, you got dressed, and you made it to Jubilee, right? So you made it all the way there to say that like I can't cook because I'm depressed. Maybe I don't want to sound insensitive. I don't know about that. But everything, I'll leave the mental health thing there. But for everything else, I'm going to have to disagree with saying that, well, I drive through the fast food because it's quicker and it's easier and I just don't have time. I do that I don't do it all the time anymore. But even throughout my GLP-1 journey, I was doing that all the time. Like if I just ran out of time in my day, I would just go grab fast food. I had to make a decision. No. Make time to cook a goddamn meal. You make the time. You make the time. You find the time. You cannot, we've had this conversation before about if you had the information, would you let your kid be obese, right? I don't believe and I'm not a parent, so parents feel free to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't believe that it's acceptable to say that for 6 out of the 7 days in a week, I just simply do not have the time to cook, so we eat out as a family. Unless you are a parent working 18-hour days, which some parents do, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up for them. But if you're not a parent working an 18-hour day, I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how that's possible. I don't. So she was saying that fast food is just easier. Of course it's easier, but like, is that just the end of it because it's easier that we should just accept that? I don't think so. I don't think so. So shout out to Trina. Thank you so much for the comment. Okay, so is she in control if there is a mental block? Psychological issues is a barrier to making good choices. Excuses not ready to change, but she was okay enough to go there for the show. That's I didn't even see your comment till just now. That's what I said. People are usually too embarrassed to ask for help when they are depressed. I would agree. If she was in a true depressive state, she wouldn't have made it to that show. Absolutely, it all boils down to choice. So yes, people are too embarrassed to ask for help. I don't think that should stop us from saying it though, right? Sometimes I feel like it's important to make people feel uncomfortable because we get comfortable. Like if you've ever been through a depressive state, you get comfortable in the darkness, you get comfortable in the loneliness. And even when it's uncomfortable, it doesn't feel like it's worth fighting your way out of. And sometimes you don't know how. So I know of a person right now that just will not seek help, just won't even they will entertain it, but they won't ask, like they won't pursue it, right? And I find myself being in a position where I have a choice to make. I can be a wonderful support system, which I am. And a part of my way of being supportive is to encourage professional help because I'm not a therapist, right? But at the same time, you know how when you really, really care about someone and you see them deteriorating, it affects you too. So in a way, I kind of have to put up a bit of a boundary because if a person won't ask for help and you're doing the best you can to support them and not force them, but just be there for them and every so often encourage them, if they won't find the strength, right? If they can't find the strength to seek the help, then there's only so much that you can do. And you can't really let that darkness pull you in. And it's hard and it sucks. It really does. But like I said, for me, maybe I was just lucky because depression was scary for me. Once I knew what it was terrifying. It was like, what? It was scarier when I didn't know. But when I found out what it was still scary, but it was like, I don't like this. Like it was like, I don't like this. Give me a pill now. But even before I got to that point, it was like I would see like quotes here and there or little tips and tricks on social media that I would try and they worked. I'll never forget seeing this quote that said, try lifting weights and being depressed. It was like the sun came through the clouds. I went to the gym immediately. It was like a dark, cloudy day. And I saw this one quote that said, try lifting weights and being depressed, as if like those two things don't go together. You can't pump iron and be depressed. Try it and see what happens. It was a wrap from there. So my episode kind of got lifted because I went pumping iron. But the downside to that is that when you know the remedy, sometimes you can circumvent it because you're not ready to do the work, right? So like, I know that the exercise is going to work, so I avoid the exercise because I just kind of want to stay stuck. So that's me, but it can be hard. If she was a true depressive, she wouldn't have made it to the show. I agree. And that's coming from someone that has depression and mental illness. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Listen, I felt that too. That's not to diminish her experience at all, not by any means. I just think it's a little. She would be better served. She would be of better service as a person that may be suffering from depression and may not simply just not be going through an episode right now, she would be of better service if she talked about how despite that, she was able to get up and come and be here to talk about this instead of making excuses about why she can't get out of bed to cook. And I don't say excuse in a sense that like mental health isn't really a good reason. No, it's not that. It's just for her to be up here speaking, but talking so much about, like talking so negatively about the times that she can't get out of bed, right? Because I talk about that, but for me, I talk about the decisions that I make around that, right? So even though I don't want to get out of bed and come on YouTube, that means I schedule a live stream that day, because if I don't, I'm going to stay in bed and just waste away for 18 hours. I'll just lay there. So that's my decision, right? I choose to do the opposite of what I feel to get through, but not everybody can do that. So I feel like if she's choosing to get up, get dressed, get her hair done, put some nice shoes on, she probably smell good, and show up for the cameras, let's lean more into that attitude when it comes to how we eat. Does that make sense? She chose to show up, so let's try to encourage that attitude in other parts of our life. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like that's a fair point to make. Hold on. My mic is dying. That's the thing about these little mics. Battery doesn't last very long. Test. Can y'all hear me? Sorry. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me make sure. DJ mic mini. Audio test. Sounds good to me. All right, let's continue.
Just wanted to say that.
What do we think about everybody can't afford the money or the time to go to the gym? I mean, we don't need the gym. Some of us just like the gym, or the gym for someone like me is a means to an end, and I have the ability to afford it. But I also work out at home. I hate working out at home. I've never enjoyed it. So this is new to me, but it's like, so I'm a part of a couple of demographics. I'm a part of the do it at home for free, the personal trainer, and the going to the gym, right? So that sounds like a whole lot of privilege, since we're using that word. That sounds like a whole lot of privilege, but everybody has the ability to work out from home. Does that mean you can control your physique with PCOS if you have the ability to work out at home? No, not necessarily. No, not necessarily. But like I said, like with hormonal conditions, just like with depression, these are things that you need to, if you feel like it's outside of your control, then you have to go get help for those things to remedy them, cure them, or just manage. If you can't cure it or remedy it, you just manage, right? I'm still trying to find, I guess when I'm listening for a reason to stay obese, and I'm not hearing it. So let's see. I actually don't know the answer to this. How does PCOS cause weight gain? Because I actually don't know. Weight gain. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, hold on. So it says the exact cause of PCOS is unknown, but it's linked to combination of genetics, hormonal imbalances, particularly excess androgens, which are, I guess, male hormones, insulin resistance, and low-grade inflammation. Factors like being overweight, a family history of PCOS, stress, and potentially environmental pollutants can also play a role or worsen. The ovaries may produce higher than normal levels of androgens. Insulin resistance, we know about that. Lifestyle factors, obesity, being overweight can exacerbate insulin resistance and hormonal imbalances. You can lose weight with PCOS, but it can be more challenging due to hormonal imbalances such as insulin resistance that contribute to weight gain. Losing even a small amount of weight can significantly improve PCOS. So how is PCOS treated? PCOS treatment options include lifestyle changes and medications tailored to individual symptoms and fertility goals. Lifestyle changes like a healthy diet and exercise can help manage weight and improve insulin sensitivity. Medications include hormonal birth control to regulate periods, anti-androgens to reduce acne and hair growth, and insulin sensitizing drugs like metformin. Diet and exercise, weight loss. Anna Lacey? Is it Anna Lacey or Ann Lacey? Let me know. It definitely makes things harder. I work 2 jobs. 14-hour days are exhausting. Okay, so help me out. Do you cook, or is it just well, since you're new commenting, we like to ask for like some basics so we all understand. So Anne, okay, Anne. Okay, so 1, are you trying to lose weight? And if so, are you on a GLP-1? Then with your current lifestyle, do you cook, or you just don't have enough time in a day to cook? Because if you're working 14-hour days, that leaves the rest of the time for sleep and maybe your commute to or from work if you commute. So do you cook at all, or you don't? If you want to let us know. Family and friends shouldn't be substitute for seeking professional help. No. I suffer from depression and I don't think it's fair, nor should I use my friends to be my sole source of support. I believe my progress is due to seeking professional help. Yeah, but friends and family can only go so far, and some people are just not ready for professional help. I'm gonna finish my cookie. I don't know what's going on with me this week. I think you know what? I need to start tracking to see when my cycle is about to start, because I've been noticing for the last couple of months, I'll have these, like, it just seems like for a week or so, I'll start craving treats, right? I've been doing pretty good for the past 2 weeks because I've been working out and stuff. So I haven't really had a lot of junk food, but I started craving ice cream a couple of days ago. So I went and got some ice cream and I had a couple of scoops of that. It typically takes me about a week to eat a pint, and I rarely ever buy ice cream. And today I was craving a cookie. So I went and got it. It has gluten. It's made with regular flour, so not gluten free. But I wanted a cookie, so I got it. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I'm like, man, like ice cream and cookie in the same week is rare for me. That's rare. That's rare. So I wonder if it's because my cycle is about to start, because I never actually pay attention to that or document that, like how I'm feeling or how my cravings are doing. I never actually pay attention. I think being on the GLP-1 has actually made me lazy about that. Okay. Yes. I food prep as much as I can. Lost 40 pounds on my own, but planning on getting on Wegovy soon. You said the magic words, and I don't mean Wegovy. I mean food prep. Because if you didn't say it, I was going to say it. If you say, no, I don't cook because I just work too many hours, I was going to ask, well, what about the days you don't work? Can you meal prep on those days? So I know it's hard, and I know it's exhausting. And I don't know if you probably missed the beginning, Anne, but I have a community tab post where you can check out after you get off of here, where I talk about the things that we are prioritizing even before the start of the new year, and encouraging and prioritizing our rest and recovery was one of those things. So it may be very, very hard to find time to rest, but if you get time, sit down and figure out where in your week you can have time to yourself to either plan out the next week, which sounds like busy work. So I don't know, because that can be relaxing to some people like me, or busy work, or take a nap, or time to plan out your meals or actually prep your meals. I say that as a person that hasn't gotten into meal prepping. I am just now finding my way into just cooking per meal, right? So if I want brunch, I'm just going to cook it. If I want dinner, I'm just going to cook it. And I've gotten down to eating out about once a week, maybe twice if I'm traveling. So good for you. You work very, very hard. 14-hour days are not easy. I work 10-hour days, but I'm lucky enough to have 3-day weekends. So I should seriously get into some food prep, but I don't hear you making no excuses, Ann. My family and friends are a support network, but I don't think it's fair to them to carry the heavy weight of my depression when it goes really deep. No, that's not fair that's not even fair to you. You know what I mean? There are people that get paid to help us with these things, you know, like, so it's not even fair to you to carry it. That's the real tea, sunshine. That's the real tea. Hormonal fluctuations, insulin resistance. So as I was reading, I think I knew about the insulin resistance part of PCOS, but as I was reading more about it, a part of the treatment was diet and exercise and losing weight. I think PCOS is very similar to diabetes and obesity in the way that, like, you lose the weight and your condition reverses. Does that sound correct? So it's like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did the PCOS cause your obesity, or did the obesity cause your PCOS? I'm just going to sit here and eat my cookie while y'all ponder. I'm just going to sit here and eat my cookie. This is a very high calorie, sugar ridden cookie from a place called Cinnaholic. I got these as a bachelorette party gift a couple of years ago. I bought these to the bachelorette party, and the girls went crazy. They went out looking for these cookies on the day of the wedding when they should have been getting dressed. That's how good they are. I wasn't there because I didn't stay with them, but I bought the cookies. They went crazy. And then the next morning, they got up in search of these cookies when they should have been getting dressed for the wedding. That's how good they are. So I haven't had one in like a year or so. So I decided to have one, but it's a complete waste of calories. It really is. It's a complete and utter waste. So did the PCOS cause the obesity, or did the obesity cause the PCOS? It sounds like the obesity, and I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me. And if you have PCOS, please do not beat me up. I'm just saying, I'm just talking based on what I just read. It sounds like, for the most part, not to say you can't be thin with PCOS, because you can be thin and have insulin resistance. It sounds like the insulin resistance is a contributing factor to the PCOS. And we know that insulin resistance is a contributing factor to obesity. So you are more at risk for PCOS if you are obese, not necessarily the PCOS causing or being a contributing factor to the obesity. It sounds like it's the reverse. So therefore, if you manage, it's harder, but if you manage to lose the weight, the insulin resistance improves, therefore the PCOS improves or reverses. Does that sound fair? That's what I got. That's what I got. Now, this is why I say education is important, because she talked about how it is hard for her because she has PCOS. I would agree. She is, her body is a hormonal dysfunction soup. So attacking that insulin resistance, a GLP-1 or whatever, because it said metformin, attacking that insulin resistance would be really good for her. Attacking that weight would be really good for her, even though it's hard. That don't mean don't try. And I'm not saying she doesn't try, but I'm just pointing that out. So that's what I got from that. I don't think she's making excuses. I think she's genuinely struggling with her weight because of her hormonal imbalances. But I think she thinks the PCOS is what's hindering her, when it's some other hormonal stuff going on, and a little bit of education would probably MVP says, have you heard the obesity doctors now say that overeating doesn't cause obesity? Obesity and other hormonal issues cause you to overeat. No, I haven't heard that. Well, yes and no. I've heard that. Okay. I kind of heard that years ago, which is why I said it's just now dawning on me that overeating is a problem. It's one of the factors, but I would have never acknowledged that over the past few years because of what you're saying now. There were doctors saying that years ago. But now it may be becoming more mainstream to say that, but doctors were saying that years ago. It's a chicken or there's one doctor, maybe I can Google it real quick. See if he comes up. Okay. Ludwig. Okay. His name is similar to another doctor, so I had to look up the other doctor in order to remember his name. That's how I remember him. Dr. Ludwig, I saw him give a presentation years ago regarding the chicken or the egg when it comes to insulin resistance and obesity, if I'm not mistaken. So the question was, does insulin resistance cause the obesity, which causes the overeating, I think, or does the overeating cause the insulin resistance that causes the obesity? It was something like that, right? And when a person is obese, it's kind of hard to tell what came first. Did the insulin resistance come first? Did the overeating come first? Or did the obesity come first because it's genetic and it caused the other two? I think that maybe both sides have been right the entire time, but as a society, we've had tunnel vision based on the information that was available to us. So what I mean by that is, what year are we in? 25, 50, 60 plus years ago, this country, America, went all in on lower the fat, eat less, move more. And TV dinners, ready-made meals, packaged foods, snack foods. We went all in on that. Calories, right? We went all in on calories, lower the calories. And it's been that way for about 50, 60 years. So much so that a lot of other information that was out there just got ignored, right? Type 2 diabetics given insulin and got fatter, which made their diabetes worse. So type 2 diabetes is progressive and you just get it till you die. They don't really say that anymore because it's not true necessarily. We know now it's reversible, and a lot of doctors are coming around to acknowledging it. The literature is coming around to acknowledging it, but they've known that for years. They just didn't acknowledge it. Anyway, the point is that I'm trying to make is that when it comes to overeating not causing obesity, it's true and it isn't, right? It's partially true. The food supply is broken. The food supply is toxic. The food supply causes food addiction, okay? Sugar addiction, food addiction, it causes addiction. It causes overeating. But we don't know that we're overeating, and we don't know we're overfeeding our children. So when we are overeating for years and years and years, and we develop obesity as adults or as teenagers or as kids, some of us as kids, we know now that a result of that is the insulin resistance, or a part of that is the insulin resistance, but it doesn't mean, so it's harder to fix, right? Like, so you can gain weight by eating the types of food that you eat, but it's harder to lose weight by reducing the amount of food. So you can gain weight by increasing the amount of food you eat, but it's much harder once that weight is already on to just reduce the amount of food that you're eating and lose the weight. And that's because of the hormones. So with that being said, is hyper focusing on overeating, like the industry or the medical field and science field, is hyper focusing on overeating the answer? No. So I think they're starting to roll some of that back. But is the answer to go to the other end of the spectrum and say that no part of this is about eating? No, that is not the answer. So we gotta, when I say we, I mean like consensus is very dangerous, and America is known for like scientifically being in a consensus. And when that happens, there's not a lot of room for dissent or nuance or a change in information. We are not a society where we gain new information and we change what we're doing. That kind of happens on an individualistic level. So that's why we got to kind of take accountability for our own health and our own journeys and just use our doctors to help us along the way. But we can't just put our whole entire health status in their hands, because they don't change with information. They change as a collective, right? Like, so when a couple of doctors here and there are saying like, no, we're doing this wrong, they become the issue or the outcast. So if we're moving more toward overeating doesn't cause obesity, I would say that that's wrong. I would say that that's wrong. Just like saying, just cutting your food, just cutting your calories will make you lose the weight. I think that that's wrong. That'll work temporarily, but it's not a long-term strategy. Is it the best to just ignore overeating? No. It's not the best strategy to just ignore overeating. So two things can be true at the same time. People are overeating. They're overeating garbage, and that garbage is causing hormonal dysfunction, because if you overeat lettuce, you're not going to be obese. If you overeat grapes, you're not going to be obese, right? Like if you overeat, I don't know, sunflower seeds, you're not going to be obese, right? But if you overeat breakfast cereal, if you overeat pancakes, if you overeat, I'll even say if you overeat steak and eggs, you're not going to be obese. But if you're overeating processed garbage like we were raised, like most people on average, at least 70% of people are going to be obese. That doesn't change the fact that we're still overeating. We're overeating. And some people get away with overeating and they never gain the weight and they never develop metabolic disease, just the way some people smoke cigarettes and never get lung cancer or throat cancer. You know what I mean? Some people have unprotected sex and never get pregnant. There's always going to be the exceptions, right? So I don't know. I think ignoring overeating is a dangerous path. And despite where the consensus goes, we're just going to have to take accountability for ourselves individually. And yeah, like we're going to have to do the research and get the information on our own and decide what works for us individually. Because I would say 90% of us did not get on a GLP-1, especially if you're on compound. We didn't make that decision because our doctors recommended it to us. In fact, our doctors let us get fatter and fatter and fatter, even though GLP-1s have been around for what, a decade, 2 decades? So it's like, and even when we got compound, our doctor still wasn't trying to play ball. So it's like, we made these, if you're on compound, 9 times out of 10, you made that decision for yourself. And some of us even made that decision for ourselves when it came to brand. And we were lucky enough to have doctors that were willing to play ball, even if we weren't a type 2 diabetic yet. So that's how I feel about that. Get a crock pot. That's healthy cooking for a busy family. Love crock pot roast with potatoes, carrots. That sounds good. All the processed BS. Yes, you're right. My problem is I food prep food I like too much. I have to make foods that's just fuel and can get it down. Otherwise, I clean my plate. I feel like your food should taste good, but it's a work in progress. Like I said, I'm a person that doesn't meal prep. I'm at a point now where I just cook as I go. I would have more time if I spent my Sundays like meal prepping through, let's say, Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. But yeah, I think that people, unless you work 7 days a week, I just don't see it. I don't see how But if you are one of those people that just don't have the time, explain it to me so I can educate myself and be, have more information, because I just don't get it. Like, because I'm that person. I'm her. I'm the person that's like, oh, I just don't have time, so I ran to McDonald's real quick. Oh, I just don't have time, so I ran to Zaxby's real quick. Oh, I just don't have time, so I ran to Bojangles real quick. Like, I'm that person, and I just had to make a choice to stop being that person. Like, and it's I've been on a GLP-1 for a year and a half. It has taken me a year and a half to finally say enough with the I don't have time. Me personally, I do have time. Do I run out of time? Yes. It was my fault that I ran out of time. I had the time, but I ran out because I was doing other shit. So that's how I feel.
It's hard.
Oh, she lied to her face. Now I don't blame her, but because it's my last cookie, my last bit. Kimmy says, Kimmy, I didn't know your tag was Kimmy, and I was calling you Kimmy. I didn't even know it was in your tag. Kimmy says she is definitely gaslighting. Obesity is a medical term, and you can look it up on Google. That's what I would have said, but the girl took the bait, right? She folded under the pressure because she doesn't want to be mean and call her obese. I'm sorry. We've talked about this, okay? Obesity is a spectrum, right? There's levels to this. The closer you are to your ideal weight, the harder it is to tell that you classify as obesity. And that's where people get a little, uneasy about BMI. So I understand that. But, okay, there are some people that are visibly obese. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Now, for me, if people looked at me, unless they're a doctor, I don't know. Like, I'm obese. Technically, I'm barely like qualified. So that might be a little bit of because I used to use this example before, but now that I've lost so much weight, it might not be a fair example, right? So let me not use me, but let's say when I was 30 pounds heavier, I've lost 60 pounds, 65. When I was 30 pounds heavier, people still didn't see me as obese, even though I was. And 30 pounds heavier was 70 pounds overweight for me. So it's like, for some people, if you carry the weight and you look cute, but you're clearly overweight, you may not catch that they're obese. But come on. There are some people that are visibly obese, and do not play in my motherfucking face. I'm sorry. Do not play in my face. And maybe this is just me. Don't play in my face and ask, would you consider me obese? Because I'm going to tell you, yeah. If you don't want to know, don't ask me. Because I wouldn't go up to you and point to you like, you're obese. But if we're having a conversation about obesity, right? And to the naked eye, that's going to be, if we're not measuring your height, your weight, your none of that, if we don't have no types of data, and you're just asking me to go based on what I see, I'm going to say, yeah. She said no. Maybe she really meant no. But I don't believe she meant no. She just folded under the pressure. And I get it. She didn't want to be mean. But she put herself in a line of fire, trying to be funny and gaslight. What do you consider obese? Would you say I'm obese? You are. And it's not to be mean, but you asked. You are obese. You are obese, like visibly obese. So it's like, okay. Hey, Michelle, I can't wait for you to catch the replay, girl. Let me know what you think. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I reaching? Am I being unreasonable about this? Y'all can let me know and I can fall back. I'll fall back on this one. If I'm being unreasonable, y'all let me know and I'll fall back, okay? But I didn't like that she just did that. I did not like that because I would have told her, yeah, you do. Now, look at the lady in the red, right? The bright red. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in on her. Can I zoom in on her? Hold on, let me see. Okay, this lady with the top bun on her head, right? Now, she would be one of these people, right? Because she's taller, right? So sometimes the way taller people carry their weight, it's not obvious. She looks fit. She looks like a normal weight to me. She looks fine to me. But what if based on her height and her weight, she's 20, 30 pounds overweight? We would know. we would have no idea, because like I said, the closer you are to your ideal weight, the harder it is to tell. You know what I mean? But this lady on the end,
So like, for example,
one talking, the one right here in the white, and the one right here on the end. These women are visibly obese. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. They are. Even this lady right here in the plum, right? Even her right here in the plum. She looks like she might be a bit taller. Based on the way she carries her weight, you would never think that she's overweight, because she's probably not, based on but you can't tell to the naked eye because she's closer to a normal weight, it looks like, and she's probably within a normal weight range. But if she said based on her BMI she's overweight, it would be like, oh, come on, BMI, like this is where you start fucking up. But I would understand, you know what I mean? It would be like, see, this is where people get annoyed with BMI. This is where people get annoyed with the BMI. But you're not about to tell me that the lady on the end, the lady in the white, and
medically obese. So
this lady right here in the red, you cannot tell me that they're not visibly obese. Okay? It is what it is. Now, I'm going to rewind it because I just caught a glimpse of what the lady in the bright red was saying, and it sounded like she about to gather her. She sounds like she's about to gather her. So let's see what happens. I'm not being unreasonable. Okay, because y'all can tell me. I'm working on my fallback game because I be going in. Defending being overweight, not ready to change, she would have to honestly look within and address the issue that allowed the weight gain. That can be a medical issue, food noise trauma. Correct. Okay. All right. So let's go back a little bit, because I didn't like that at all. I did not like that exchange. And I feel like when somebody pulls your card like that, it's best to just give them what they're looking for. But maybe that's me speaking from a content creator perspective and not just having a conversation. But don't pull my card like that, because I wasn't even talking about you. I was speaking in general. But if you step in the line of fire and ask me a direct question, would you consider me obese? If I think you're obese when I look at you, I'm going to say yes. Now, could I be wrong? I could be, but the easiest way to tell is to pull out a BMI calculator. The easiest way to tell is to pull out a BMI calculator. Because I'll fuck around and play the game with you and be like, well, how tall are you? How much you weigh? You're not going to want to tell me, are you? Because BMI is a medical term, like somebody said. BMI is a medical term. So if you going to play the game of would you consider me obese, and you want me to do it to the naked eye, I just might fuck with you and ask you your height and your weight. And then if you don't want to tell me, then I can't give you an answer. I don't know. I would have to know your height and your weight, because that's what BMI is based on. It's based on your height and your weight. Are you saying visually obese because they're morbidly obese? I don't know what the qualifications are for morbid. And I don't even know if I don't think they call it that anymore, but I guess yes. Like, but this is me. This is to my eyes, right? Like this is to me. This is to me. I am not afraid of the term obesity, right? The only way to really know is to have somebody's height and their weight, right? Because like I said, the closer you are to your ideal weight, you would never know that I would fall under the category of obesity 1, right? You would never know that, because it looks, like I'm closer to my normal weight. It looks like I'm closer, but I'm actually about 35 pounds away. So I still got a long way to go. But at 240, I would argue that a person that said I wasn't obese was being disingenuous. That's what I would say. I would say at 240 pounds, a person that argued that I didn't look obese, does obesity have a look? I think after a certain point, yes. I think after about 75 pounds of being overweight, I would say yes. But that's just me. That's me being arbitrary. Do I have anything to back that up? No, I have nothing to back that up. That's just me based on my own experiences and stuff like that. So my opinion don't mean anything, but it's like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. So to me, after a certain amount of weight, yes, it does have a look. It does. So let's continue. Did I rewind it already? I think I did. All right. Yeah, none of that matters. Good for her. I'm glad she's active, but none of that matters. It's a medical term. It's a medical classification. It has nothing to do with your level of physical fitness or activity, unfortunately. So she feels different because she still has her mobility. That's borderline ableism. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, my nose is running, but that's borderline ableism. Like, oh, I wouldn't consider myself obese because I can go on a hike. I can go on no hike and not get out of breath. Like, but I have a brother that's obese. He's older than me. He weighs much more than me. The man has been super physically active his whole life, but he's obese. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So I went to New York last year, right? And I was only about 20 pounds down. So I was at like 220 or something like that. Everything I did, I was still out of breath. Like, right? Like, to the point where I always wanted to sit down, and we were at a park at a birthday party. So I always wanted to make sure I had a seat. But every time I looked up, my brother was gone. Every time I looked up, and he got to be over 300 pounds, I think. Maybe he's close to 300. I'm not sure, but I feel like he's over. Not 4 though. He's probably, maybe he's like, I have no idea. Maybe he's like somewhere between like 280 and 320. He's big. He's a big guy. Every time I looked up, he was gone. He was gone. And then he would be walking back from somewhere. And I'm like, where'd you go? Oh, we went to such and such to get some ice. And in my mind, I'm just like, you walked over there? Now it's not far, but at 220, I was like, and it was hot. I'm like, you walked over there? Like, he walks. He doesn't work out necessarily, but he's a walker because we're from New York. He's a walker. So I understand what she's saying, but it's like but this is an education problem right here, right? This is a matter of education. But she borderline on some ableism stuff, talking about an obese person wouldn't be able to do this, wouldn't be able to do that, which is true. But just because you can do those things don't mean you aren't medically obese. And the girl said 15 times, I mean medically, I mean medically, I mean medically. Ooh, child.
Exercise. So for the doctors.
Yes.
No, I'm here, Nicole. What do you mean? I'm gone. What are you talking about? Let me see. Am I gone? Am I gone? Am I gone? Am I stream unavailable? Oh, no.